Welcome to Ak-Chin Field inside U.S. Airways Center, home of the two-time defending Arena Bowl champion and undefeated Arizona Rattlers. Summertime is officially upon us, and tonight the red-hot Rattlers host the L.A. Kiss in a West Division matchup. Hello everybody, Chris Harris here, and welcome to the Rattlers pregame show on Cox 7. Coming up, we'll break down tonight's matchup between Arizona and LA. Also, we'll go behind the scenes with the Rattlers athletic trainer and strength and conditioning coach, the two guys that help the players play at an optimal level. Also, we go along with the players during a recent visit to the Phoenix Children's Hospital as the guys do a great job of continuing to give back to the community. All right, start things off now by hearing from Arizona head coach Kevin Guy and get his take on the team's 13-0 start and the possibility of going undefeated.
Whatever decisions we need to make once we start locking down these home field advantages, we're going to make. And we're going to make them in the best interest of the team, in the best interest of the organization, in the best interest of the individual. So, our goal is to get the playoffs healthy. If that means we have to sit somebody, then we'll sit somebody. If that means, we're going to take the approach and we're going to go full steam ahead and want to go into the playoffs with momentum, we're going to do that. I mean, we're going to make the best decision of whatever our team's going through at the time for what's best for the team. And we're not going to get caught up worrying about if we're going to go undefeated or not.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers, which are absolutely incredible. The 13-0 record to start the season is an AFL record, and the 13 straight wins ties a league record for longest single-season winning streak set by Jacksonville in 2011. The 17 consecutive wins covers 2 years, which includes the playoffs, ties a mark set by Tampa Bay in 1995-96. The Rattlers have also spent the past 26 weeks #1 in the coaches poll, and it's been almost a full year since Arizona lost a game. The last time the Rattlers tasted defeat was July 20th of last season against Chicago. Let's now send it upstairs to the guys calling the action for tonight's game. Kevin Ray and Dale Hellstray. Guys, absolutely incredible numbers the Rattlers have put up here as of late.
Well, they certainly have, Chris, and of course we heard coaching phrases used also earlier this week, like chopping wood and staying humble. But Dale is a former player on the professional level. How, as a player, do you not start looking at those numbers? Because let's face it, human nature begins to take over at some point.
Well, and that is the point in the season where you actually start to see the end in sight. So sometimes your focus can get wavered a little bit. I think Coach Guy and his coaching staff do a tremendous job focusing on this week. They've done that for the last 3 years. They've done a tremendous job keeping the players focused on the following week.
And of course, aside from staying unbeaten, the all-important task tonight is securing a home field advantage.
And everything that you're doing, you're building towards. You want home field advantage to get those 2 playoff games at home, and then once you secure that, then you got to make sure you stay ahead of Cleveland because you want the Arena Bowl to be here. So you do have goals to shoot for.
Yeah, and of course, one of those that maybe not spoken so much about, but a chance to secure the consecutive games won to begin the season. Currently tied with Jacksonville, but a victory tonight gives them that mark all alone. And considering their opponent, it would stand to be pretty good chance they'll do that, but this is an LA Kiss team that has changed considerably since they last met.
Well, they made 10 transactions this week alone. They're doing everything they can to put a competitive product on the field. You're going to have a bunch of new guys running around out there, so the Rattlers have not seen film on them. They don't know what they're going to do. That could create a little confusion out there.
Well, one guy who has certainly been dialed in, even more so over the last 5 weeks, is number 19, Marquise Floyd.
Coach Guy could not say enough good things about Marquise Floyd when we talked to him earlier this week. Just a ball hawk, has great football instincts, great hands. He said, his experience playing two-way arena football, Ironman football, has really helped him understand offensive concepts. And you put that together with his competitive nature, his instincts, hands, and speed, and you have, if not the best, one of the best to ever play the game.
Well, you can certainly appreciate what this next guy has done. Michael Huey, of course, a former offensive lineman yourself. You're constantly talking about how underappreciated they are. I think everybody appreciates what Michael Huey has brought to the table, not only as an offensive lineman, but we've seen his game emerge now over the last few weeks.
He does a tremendous job at all three positions. He can line up at fullback. He can play center. He does the long snapping. So versatile. As good an offensive lineman as there is in this league. And now you add pass catching ability to it, and that's where it becomes fun for an offensive lineman. You see the nice hands here, ball thrown a little bit behind him, and he's done a tremendous job. Now the dance needs a little bit of work, but again, you don't get into the end zone very often as an offensive lineman. You see 5 catches, 3 of them for touchdowns.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is oftentimes, and you know this, offensive linemen are always saying, throw me the football. They get it, they drop it. That has not been the case with him, so he is coming through with big payoff catches as well.
And he's made some really nice catches because they haven't all been on the money. He's made Nick Davila look good.
Well, Huey's main focus tonight is going to be protection for his quarterback, Davila, and they'll have to come up with some special protection tonight against this guy because he is among the league's best, talking about LA's Bo Bell.
And look for the Rattlers to change their offensive line blocking scheme a little bit tonight. They're going to use slide protection because they want to get a big body on Bo Bell. 11.5 sacks coming into the game, on pace to break the single season sack record in arena football. So they're going to put some new things in motion tonight to try and slow him down.
Well, Chris, the fans should certainly be amped up. It seems like it has been forever since the Rattlers have been back home, so expecting a big crowd, a raucous crowd, as they go for that Arena League mark.
Guys, all right, now tonight, all season long, we want you to be a part of our broadcast as well with the Cox 7 Rattlers social media. That means hitting us up on Facebook and on Twitter. And for more on that, let's bring in the 4th member of our team, our social media correspondent, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay?
Thanks, Chris. Well, you're exactly right. We want fans to join us online throughout the entire game. And as we prepare to take on the LA Kiss, I want to know what your thoughts are on this matchup. So Facebook with me at Cox 7 Arizona Sports or tweet with me at Cox 7 Arizona. Chris?
All right, when we come back, we go behind the scenes with the Rattlers athletic trainer and strength and conditioning coach as they do their part to keep the players playing on all cylinders. Stay right where you are. We're just getting started on the Rattlers pregame show on Cox 7.
The Auction Indian community and Troon Golf invite you to tee up a pure golf experience at Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club. Ranked as one of the top 10 best courses you can play in Arizona by Golf Week, Auction Southern Dunes is known for its relaxed atmosphere, premier course conditions, and spectacular service. Just 30 minutes south of Sky Harbor Airport, Auction Southern Dunes features stunning golf and a casual yet elegant restaurant. Visit us at golfsoutherndunes.com for the best available rates. Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club, a pure golf experience.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford, our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the 2-time defending 4-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a 3rd straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
Great seats still remain for the Sunday, July 20th game against the Portland Thunder. Get your tickets now. Call 602-514-TDTD or go online at azrattlers.com. A big reason for the Rattlers' record season start to this season has been paying attention to the small details and fielding a relatively strong and healthy team each and every week.
Our philosophy here is we want to be bigger and more physical football team than anybody that we play. It starts with A, keeping our guys healthy, but B, getting stronger. And with strength, you're going to be a more physical football team.
Get that knee up.
For the Arizona Rattlers, the two guys in charge of making that happen are strength and conditioning coach Leland Rogers and athletic trainer Sean McManus, both of whom are in their first year with the team.
The challenges are, and this is actually the best part about the job, is every day I have a new opportunity or a new challenge to meet, and the high level that has been set here by our head coach, Kevin Guy, our owner, Ron Schertz, or any of the other coaches and the players that have been here. I need to make sure everybody's as healthy as they can be to be able to compete at a high level. So every day I walk in the building, that's the goal.
When you have guys that are professionals, they have a system that they're used to in being successful, and we do things that are a little different, and so the challenges at first was getting them to accept the new philosophy and buying into that.
The players have bought into the new philosophy and are benefiting from the results.
It makes you feel real good just coming on game day with the attitude like I'm in the best shape of my life, that I know the team we're going against haven't worked harder than us, and we'll see on the field when the game starts, have they put in the work that I have during the week.
For me, when we get into the second half and specifically the fourth quarter, and we start physically dominating people, there's nothing more than a strength coach that you go, I feel pretty good about that. You know, I feel like I had a hand in that.
Yeah, good.
A key component to staying healthy and being able to play at a high level is communication and trust between players and coaches.
We believe that the Rattlers have a certain mindset that allows us to be successful, so I have to be an extension of that. I can't be having a different philosophy and a different way of my approach. And so first, for the coaches, I want to be an extension. For the players, I'm a coach, but I need to have a different relationship where they can confide in me about things and they can trust me.
What I like about it is when they do get injured and something's going on with them, the rehab is really intense, okay? And not only in the treatment room, but stuff that they're doing out on the field to get these guys back to where they need to be. And to me, that's what professional sports is all about. But a lot of times when players get hurt, they think, well, I don't have to work out. Well, that's not the case. Only one part of your body's hurt. We can work out the rest of your body. So, and it's amazing how fast they recover from injuries when you put them in that position.
At games, McManus is able to get in some conditioning of his own during timeouts.
I've always been taught, you know, you need to be 100%. So just as fast as you can go, you know, you take care of stuff. So that's just what I try to do each and every day.
Players or coaches tweak you all a little bit about your speed out there?
No, you know, they've been great about it. You know, every once in a while I hear, you know, I gotta work my knee drive, so you know that's something I'm working with Leland. You know, so we're doing some squats and some cleans and getting that triple extension. So, you know, every day's opportunity to get better, and that's just something we're really committed to here at the Arizona Rattlers.
A special thanks to Sean McManus and the Rattlers for all of their help. Well, yesterday the AFL announced there will be another expansion team starting up next season. When we come back, we'll tell you what city the new team will be playing in and what rock and roll star will be the owner. Also, we'll get you caught up on all of the action taking place this weekend. We'll be right back.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor, and double down. Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew, Casino, Arizona, win your way. Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out.
How do the Arizona Rattlers kick off their season? By improving their training skills at Fast Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training, where you can perfect your speed, agility, strength, By honing in on these key skills, you will have the winning edge and ability to compete at the highest of levels. Foothills Sports Medicine. Train like the pros, perform like the pros.
And welcome back to Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center, everybody. Well, the LA Kiss are no longer the only team with rock and roll ties in the AFL. The league announced yesterday that Vince Neil, lead singer for Motley Crue, has been approved as an owner to start an expansion team. And that team will call Las Vegas Home Sweet Home. The team will start up play next season, and Neil wants to call the team the Outlaws. That should be a lot of fun happening there in Sin City come next season. All right, so now I'll send you around the Arena Football League and see what's going on with all of the action. Last night in Pittsburgh, the Power pushed their record to 11-3 with a big win over Iowa. A nice night for Pittsburgh's Tommy Grady, who threw 7 scoring strikes. In Spokane, the Shock evened their record at 7-7 as they took the talents behind the woodshed. Spokane quarterback Eric Meyer, in his first start since May 4th, had 3 touchdown passes and 3 TDs running. Meyer missed a few games due to a broken collarbone. Tonight, Cleveland is in Philly as the Gladiators try to keep pace with the Rattlers for the best record in the league. Cleveland just 1 loss on the season, but they trail the Soul 62-50 late in the 4th quarter. In Tampa Bay, it's the war on I-4 between the Predators and the Storm. In Orlando, leads Tampa Bay at the half. In the Big Easy, it's a South Division matchup between the Sharks and Voodoo. Vince Neil has been a minority owner of the Sharks the last couple of months, and they are early on in the 2nd quarter. Jacksonville leading New Orleans by a count of 6-0. Let's now take a look at this week's Arena Football Power Rankings, and sitting on top are your Arizona Rattlers at 13-0, followed by Cleveland. And you've got Pittsburgh, San Jose, which is where the Rattlers will be playing next week, Orlando, Tampa Bay, and Spokane. All right, when we come back, I'll be joined right here on the set by Jim Buckland and Miguel Camarena, the 2 guys behind Fuga Energy Drink, one of the proud sponsors of the Arizona Rattlers. Stay right where you are. The Rattlers pregame show on Cox 7 continues just a moment on Star Wars night.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com. For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
The 2014-2015 Sidewinders calendar is on sale now. The Sidewinders teamed up with Lawless Denim & Company at Cityscape for this season's calendar. Copies are limited, so get yours early. The calendars are sold in the team shop, at games, and through the Rattlers retail stores. And I'm happy to be joined right now by Jim Buckland, CEO of Aqua Arena, and also Miguel Camarena, also co-founder of Aqua Arena Beverage and creator of Fuga Energy Drink. So glad to have you guys with us. First off, if you would talk about the relationship you guys have with the Rattlers.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Chris. So we became, earlier this year, the official energy drink of the Arena Football League. And our company is headquartered here in Arizona. We make our product here. And of course, the Arizona Rattlers are legendary and very famous in Arizona. So we had an opportunity to meet with their leadership from the owner on down, and just became part of the family, and we're very happy to be affiliated with the Rattlers and haven't missed a game since, and we're very proud of our partnership.
And along those lines, Miguel, how did this Fuga get started?
Yes, sir. I had a negative experience with an energy drink, and I realized that it was, I studied ingredients, and I realized that it was synthetic caffeine that had done that to me. So I studied ingredients, put a formula together, and came up with a natural source of caffeine for our Fuga Energy. Presented it to our R&D company, and here we are today with Fuga.
And how long have you been around for?
We launched March 1st of 2013, so we're fairly new. And we came to Arizona. We moved from New Mexico, so a year and a few months.
And Jim, what makes Fuga different from all the other energy drinks out there?
Well, Miguel kind of touched on it, that synthetic caffeine is the primary source for a lot of the health concerns that you see a lot of people experiencing with energy drinks. And we have only a natural source of caffeine, so we don't cause the jitter and crash. It's very common in most energy drink products. So people that don't drink energy drinks really tend to gravitate toward our brand because they can drink it, they feel wonderful, and they don't have any negative side effects. That's the first thing. The second is, we're the first energy drink brand ever to partner with a professional sports league, with the AFL. All of the major sports leagues have policies against marketing with any energy drink brand because of the health concerns. And we also, with our newest product, Fuga Life, are the first energy drink brand ever to partner with the National Breast Cancer Foundation. This is an all-natural product, and a large portion of our proceeds is donated back to an issue that we're deeply passionate about, which is raising the awareness of the importance of mammograms for early detection of breast cancer. So our newest product is the first energy drink to work with the National Breast Cancer Foundation. We're very proud of that.
That is fantastic. Now, who's your target audience? Who are the people that are drinking Fuga?
You know, it's really anybody that wants to empower their life, to feel better about their physical and mental endurance. What we find as we introduce our product to people is that most people that like it are people that don't currently drink energy drinks. And so people that are addicted to the current products, right, because that synthetic caffeine is addictive, they don't tend to like our product because it doesn't give them that smack in the face and crash to drink another one. Ours has a long, sustainable, good feeling, and it just tends to resonate well with people that are more conscious about their health.
Jim, Miguel, thank you so much for the time. But on the way out, Miguel, give us the tagline for the company.
It's the healthy energy drink you'll feel good about drinking.
And you'll feel good watching this game here tonight. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, when we come back, we're going to catch up with some of the Rattlers players during a recent visit to Phoenix Children's Hospital. We'll have that story and more when we come back.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor,
and double down.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
with my crew.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out today.
Are you dreaming of a desert oasis where you can enjoy summer fun with your family, relax in the spa, and end your day with a finale of fireworks? Then join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for some summer fun at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess. Take the plunge right away, relax and rejuvenate, and light up the night. Watch Summer at the Princess, a Cox 7 special Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Or starting June 20th, see it on your own schedule. Go to On Demand, select Free Zone, then Cox, Arizona.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
Welcome back to Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center, everybody. Let's now check back in with the Cox 7 Rattlers social media scene with our correspondent, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay?
Thanks, Chris. Well, I'm absolutely loving this Star Wars night. I got my little mini lightsaber, and I know that Dale is going to be using the Force later on tonight to answer a lucky fans question. So fans, be sure to send us your AFL-related questions. You can write them on our Facebook page at Cox 7 Arizona Sports or tweet them to us at Cox 7 Arizona. And the lucky winner will also get this Nick Miller autographed Arizona Rattlers t-shirt. Chris?
Some of the Rattlers recently made a visit to the Phoenix Children's Hospital where they tried to brighten the spirits of those who needed a little lift.
I enjoy being around kids, so whenever I get the opportunity to come, I'm excited and I'm ready to come.
It's one of my favorite places to come, actually. So.
Why is that?
Kids everywhere, I was a child psychology major in college, so it's just something I've been a part of since I was in high school. Like, had a lot of kids in my family.
The players made the most of their time in the Child Life Zone, a place where patients can go and try to forget about the challenges they face.
It's good not to just be stuck in one room for the whole time that we've been here. It's good to come down and just practice and play.
Do I use electricity? Yes.
It's fun hanging out with them and getting to know them. So, yeah, we're pretty big boys.
It's great. It's good for the kids because they spend so much time in a hospital bed in a room, and it's kind of depressing and boring for them, and then they come in and see the football players. It's really fun for them. They see the same faces every day, the same nurses, the same doctors, and usually it's doom and gloom, but then you have the players come in, they've got their jerseys or their team logos, and it's kind of fun because then they realize that there's life still outside the hospital walls.
The Rattlers play between the walls, but making a difference outside of them is a gratifying experience.
It's really rewarding to just see their faces light up and have us give back to the community, and they get so excited that we're here and we're spending our time with them. It's something special.
Coming to visit the kids that are going through something, it's good to see a smile on their face, and I'm sure they have a good time when we come because we get big kids into a room with small kids, and then it just goes a little chaotic, but have a good time.
You never know when a kid is down, I just try to come in and try to brighten up their day. I know sometimes I have down days, and I know just little things help me, so I just try to come in and bring up their day, brighten their day a little bit.
Brown and Huey teamed up for a game of pool against Dukes and James Hansen, with Hansen knocking in the 8-ball for the win.
Pool game started off strong, and Cliff, he got on fire and just went from there. I couldn't count on my teammates, our Keith, but we almost beat him.
I was counting on Huey to take me in, since we're both from Texas, so I jumped on his back, and he kind of let me fall off. Dukes kind of took control.
Brown and Huey played board games as well, much to the delight of one patient in particular.
It was fun. I haven't seen her smile all week, so watching her grin because she was able to beat them was fun. Was a lot of fun.
By the end of the visit, fun was had by all, and a sense of appreciation.
It makes you thankful for everything that you have. I mean, we may have some nicks and bruises here and there, but they're fighting a much more tougher battle than we are, so it's very humbling.
It's amazing that they would donate their time and energy to come down here and spend time with kids, and I think it's wonderful that they would do that for the community.
Sanderson Ford. Country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
Sanderson Ford.
Ultra Star Multitainment Center, where kids are the stars.
Perfection is not the goal, but the unbeaten Arizona Rattlers have embraced all the attention that's come as a result of their perfect mark. Tonight, they wear the bullseye yet again as the LA Kiss come to town looking to pull off the upset. It's the Arizona Rattlers and LA Kiss in a Saturday night AFL showdown here on Cox 7. Well, hi again, everybody, alongside the former Dallas Cowboy Dale Hellestrae. I'm Kevin Ray, coming to you from the Snake Pit here at Auction Field. It's been a long time since this club has been back home, but they just continue to roll along no matter where they play, Dale.
And they know they're in for a test tonight. They're going up against a hungry LA Kiss team. They're going to try and keep that streak alive.
Trying to set a new AFL franchise mark for consecutive wins to begin the season at 14-0. But they're up against an LA team, as you pointed out, that's hungry, but they're also playing beyond the perfection mark to get home field advantage.
Yeah, and obviously you have goals in mind, and number one is you want to play your playoff games here at the Snake Pit. They can accomplish that goal with a win tonight.
Well, one guy who has helped them remain perfect is Marquise Floyd. He has played at a high level all season long, but none more so than the last 5 weeks, Dale.
Sitting down and talking to Coach Guy this week, couldn't say enough good things about the play of Marquise Floyd. He has 9 interceptions, and in the last 6 games, you've seen him really step up his game. Great hands, great instincts, understands offensive concepts, and makes huge plays for this Rattler football team.
Quarterback Nick Davila enjoying another spectacular campaign. A lot of it has to do with the protection that he has gotten and the guy leading the way up front, Michael Huey, but he has added even more versatility to his game, if you can imagine.
He's just done a tremendous job. They've lined him up at fullback, at tight end, at guard. He can play center, and he loves to go out and catch passes. He's got 5 passes this year, 3 of them for touchdowns. You see the catch here? It wasn't a perfectly thrown ball, reaches behind him. He's so athletic for a 300-pound offensive lineman. Now, the dance, it could use a little bit of work, but with more touchdowns, he promises to have more inventive dances.
But Huey's primary focus tonight will be that protection package, because they'll need it tonight, because they will be faced up against one of the league's very best at pass rushing, and talking about LA's Bo Bell.
You talk to the Rattler coaching staff, and the number one name that comes out of their mouths is Bo Bell, and he can bring the heat. 11.5 sacks coming into the game, on pace to break the Arena Football League record for sacks in the season. Watch for the Rattlers offensive line to do some different things to try and neutralize him.
The Kiss make their one and only stop here in the desert. We'll kick it off when we come back. The Rattlers and LA coming up next. Sanderson Ford. Country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford Country.
Sanderson Ford.
Kiss and the Rattlers ready to go at it here from Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center. Kevin Ray, Dale Hellestrae. We'll check in with Chris Harris, Lindsey Smith a little bit later on, but right now, let's get Dale's keys to the game.
Obviously a big game for this Arizona Rattlers squad as they're trying to get that home field advantage. Number one on their list, they have to protect Nick Davila. This pass rush of the Kiss can bring the heat. They want to make quarterback Garcia very uncomfortable in that pocket. They were able to accomplish that the last time these two teams played. And when a team's struggling a little bit, you want to jump on them early to not give them any confidence that they can win this football game.
The Kiss will get the football to get things underway. Here is Craig Tanamorn's got it teed up. A.J. Cruz back deep to receive for L.A. And cleanly taken, but it'll be L.A. offensively coming in with a record of 3-9. An offense that has sputtered. There's the group up front. Diaz, Wilson, and Joe Matson is the tight end. Donovan Morgan, Samora Goodson, Radway, and Andres Vargas is your fullback. And there's a guy that's seen a few games in his 19+ years now, and Garcia sees the end zone, but they're going to say that the sack came just at about the half-yard line. A rude welcome back to his old digs.
Tyree Glasper coming from that plug linebacker spot. Does a nice job staying low, getting under those offensive linemen, and just a tremendous job. And Taj Hawthorne set that move up with a full rush on Wilson. Glasper did a tremendous job coming off that bull rush.
Third sack of the season for Tyree Glasper, 18th as a team, but Garcia comes right back and fires it downfield for a big completion to Donovan Morgan, a big target at that, 6'3", 225, out of Pearl River Community College. That's his 99th reception as we see the numbers on Aaron Garcia.
Well, you talk about this LA Kiss offense, and they struggled this year, lowest scoring offense in arena football, but a lot of that's because Garcia has not gotten into rhythm with these receivers. Last week, they were able to do that against a pretty good Portland defense, putting up 69 points.
Little swing pass this time to Morgan. Brings it up the near side. Let's take a look at that Rattlers defense. Playing perhaps their best ball in the midst of this championship run. Cliff Dukes and Taj Hawthorne, who continue to be praised by head coach Kevin Guy, Marcus Pittman, Tyree Glasper, who you saw a moment ago, Kerry Reed, the Mr. Do-Everything, playing as giant jack linebacker, Arkeith Brown, Kellum, and Marquise Floyd. Garcia time to throw, scrambles out of the pocket, and pass complete for an LA touchdown. Samora Goodson was able to wrestle it away, and he comes up with his 4th touchdown catch of the season, and it comes on the opening drive here for the LA Kiss.
Tremendous job by Garcia, buying a little extra time. You see him roll out to his right, and then Goodson comes up with a tremendous one-handed catch. Goodson, 11 catches, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week, only 18 on the year.
So after Arizona opened up with a sack to get the game started, Garcia engineers a scoring drive, gets the Kiss on the board first, 7-0, LA on top.
The Auction Indian community and Troon Golf invite you to tee up a pure golf experience at Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club. Ranked as one of the top 10 best courses you can play in Arizona by Golf Week, Auction Southern Dunes is known for its relaxed atmosphere, premier course conditions, and spectacular service. Just 30 minutes south of Sky Harbor Airport, Auction Southern Dunes features stunning golf and a casual yet elegant restaurant. Visit us at golfsoutherndunes.com for the best available rates. Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club, a pure golf experience.
Well, I was always a Han Solo guy. I liked Han Solo. You know, he seemed to always be quick temper, had an attitude, and you know, was a little bit of a smart aleck, and that would be me if I was playing that role.
I thought it might be Darth Vader.
I did like Darth Vader, but he dies in the end. I don't see me losing, so so no, I was sticking with the winning team.
That pretty much sums it up here on Star Wars Night for Kevin Guy.
Well, he'd just play everybody, wouldn't he?
Yeah, why not? As long as the character doesn't die. That's what he is primarily interested in. 7-0, and we welcome you back. Good-looking opening scoring drive is Arkeith Brown. Clears it cleanly off the nets. Looks for the far side return, and not much there as he's corralled it around the 8-yard line. Good pursuit on that special teams coverage by the LA Kiss. Is Brown a little slow to get up. Let's take a look at the league's top scoring offense. Keith Williams, Sherman Carter, and Michael Huey. Huey, of course, has been the anchor up front there. Rod Windsor, Maurice Purified, Tyson Boots. You got the big three back, along with the fullback Alex Singleton. There's your starting quarterback, Nick Davila. Just 4 touchdown passes shy of another 100-yard touchdown passing season, and he guns it here near side, leaping high to make the catch was Maurice Purified. Continuing to shake the rust off, but looking like the old Mo show right there.
What tremendous concentration. Know the dasher board's coming up against you there, and you're going to tumble into the stands and still able to hang on the football. All these Rattler receivers do a great job of catching the football with their hands. Big, strong targets.
You see the numbers for Davila on this 2014 campaign. Fires again to Purify with that stiff arm, as he has become known around the league for. Gets the first down and an extra 8 following the catch as they move the chains.
Another thing these receivers for the Rattlers do so well is run after the catch. You see the size here, 6'4", 230 pounds, and a lot of damage is done after the ball is caught.
Penalty marker thrown. Davila time to throw. Finds Rod Windsor for the touchdown. We'll see if it stands.
Think he might get offsides on the Kiss.
But the score stands, and for Windsor, his 31st touchdown catch of the season.
Good protection up front. Allows Nick to survey the field, step into his throw, and Windsor makes it look very easy.
And Ratanamorn, who has been returned from exile, punches through the extra points. Tied at 7 here, early first.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor, and double down. Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew. Casino, Arizona, win your way. Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out today.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
7-7 here in the early stages of the first quarter between the Rattlers and the LA Kiss. Let's check in with the fourth member of our broadcast team tonight, Lindsey Smith.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, fans, we want you to entire game. You can chat with us on Facebook at Cox 7 Arizona Sports or on Twitter at Cox 7 Arizona. We want to know your thoughts and opinions throughout the game. Guys.
Thank you, Lindsey. Always enjoys seeing some of the social interaction with the very passionate Arizona Rattler fans.
Well, and all four of us are tweeting now, although I don't see much from the young Chris Harris. Although I don't know if I even follow him.
You get the riveting stuff from Chris, like what kind of sandwich he had for lunch.
Well, 2 offensive possessions, 2 touchdowns. Nice crowd on hand here. And I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
Santamore's got it teed up. Angle is towards the far side as Cruz gathers it about 8 yards deep. And run out of bounds on the far side there by Maurice Purify, who, as great as it is to have Maurice Purify back offensively, we've talked at length the last couple of seasons what he has meant to this special teams.
Does a tremendous job, brings a little bit of nastiness to that kick cover team, likes to stick his head in there and make tackles and be physical. And when you see your stars do that, everybody else tends to fall in line.
Swings it out here on the near side. Late penalty flag comes in.
I think you're going to get a roughing the quarterback on Antaj Hawthorne. Antaj Hawthorne in the middle of that defensive line just brings such a nasty attitude to the football field. 4.5 sacks. The coaches couldn't talk enough about the season he's put together. He's in great condition. He's nasty. He understands those football concepts and really likes to mix it up in the middle of the line.
Garcia working the hard snap count to his advantage as the pass a little bit high and off of the fingertips of the intended receiver, Raymond Radway. 6'3", 210 target out of Abilene Christian.
Defensive linemen in arena football have to have their hand on the ground when the ball's snapped, and you have to be lined up in a certain position. Antaj picked his hand up a little bit, thus the 5-yard penalty.
Call from our referee, Dave Gitaya, here tonight. Just under 9 minutes to play in his opening quarter, tied at 7. Garcia, deep drop comes near side. And pass complete. Maybe a 1-yard pickup there.
Well, the one thing Coach Guy talked about, even talking to Dave Ewert, the defensive line coach, defensive coordinator, they said the more time Aaron Garcia plays with this football team, the better the offense gets. And you just want to get to him early. Do not want to let Garcia get into a rhythm with his receivers.
That was a message that Kevin Guy was sending to his defense this week, especially the secondary. Garcia forced out of the pocket that time and has to put it up into the stands for a souvenir for one of the fans.
Well, that's the smarts of a quarterback who has thrown for over 62,000 yards in his career. Nowhere to go with the football. Great coverage downfield. And instead of trying to force something in there on second down, throw it into the stands. Let's play third down.
Garcia, 19th season, and this LA Kiss club is his 12th team that he's played for. but has won at nearly every stop as he slings that one outside to Donovan Morgan, who makes the first down catch.
So difficult. Morgan coming into the game with 98 catches, almost 1,200 yards and 22 touchdowns, goes in motion, and Kellum playing defense on him. You have to respect his speed. And when it's third and short, very easy to throw the little hitch pattern for the first down.
Well, and like Arizona, LA presents some big receiver targets offensively as well, as they try to keep it on the ground here, but not much running room. Has a nice job that time by Dukes as he cut off Joe Mortensen, the big 6'1" fullback out of the University of Kansas.
Eight to 9 possession game, where the Rattlers would like it to be more in the 13, 14, 15 possession game and speed it up a little bit.
Although he did say with Garcia getting a little more timing with his receivers, he wondered if maybe some of that approach would change. We've got an LA Kiss player still down on the turf, and that is Donovan Morgan. That's the last guy that the Kiss could afford.
Watch the contact right here as the ball snapped. Physical play from that Arizona Rattler defense, and it looked like it was Marquise Floyd.
Let's check in with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Hey, what an incredible start it has been for the Rattlers this season. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. The 13-0 record to start the season is an AFL record. And 13 straight wins ties a league record for longest single-season winning streak set by Jacksonville in 2011. The 17 consecutive wins covering 2 years, which includes the playoffs, ties a mark set by Tampa Bay in 1995 and 96. The Rattlers have also spent the last 26 weeks #1 in the coaches poll. It's been almost a full year since Arizona last lost a game, and that was on July 20th against Chicago from last year. And the coach of that Chicago team, by the way, is now the LA Kiss head coach, Bob McMillan. And guys, I don't know if you noticed what the heading was on that graphic. We're going streaking, but that was inspired by none other than Frank the Tank.
All right, thank you very much. While they continue to work on Donovan Morgan, we'll step aside for a timeout. Tied at 7-7 here, LA, Arizona.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
Star Multitainment Center, where kids are the stars.
(7-7), LA, Arizona tied up here as we welcome you back to Ak-Chin Indian Community Field, the U.S. Airways Center. Kevin Ray, Dale Hellestrade, Chris Harris, and Lindsey Smith as they continue to look at Kiss wide receiver Donovan Morgan. It appears as though he'll make a return here shortly. Right now, Aaron Garcia and the Kiss faced with third down.
Trying to get the play clock set up and get the ball ready for action.
You know, prior to going to break, you heard Chris Harris rattling off those numbers, and looking at Garcia, we talked about this being his 19th season, and to put it even more perspective, his rookie season, he played with his now head coach, Bob McMillan, both beginning their rookie campaigns here in Arizona. And Garcia continues his playing days here moving to LA. Pass sails high, and then a late penalty flag. And Kevin Guy livid over the call.
Tyree Glasper, and as good a plug linebacker as there is in this league, and you know, it's one of those calls that I think maybe there was a edict handed down from the league office, protect the quarterbacks, because that certainly did not look like a personal foul penalty.
Well, when you're 6'3", 265, and all your momentum is coming forward, it's a little hard to put on the brakes, but nonetheless, it's 1st and goal to go as Morgan makes his return on that snap.
Really nice coverage by Jeremy Kellum. You know, you can use the end line to your advantage as a defensive back. You know the receivers can't run by you for a touchdown, playing tight coverage, physical, right at the goal line, bumping around with Donovan Morgan and able to knock the ball loose.
9th play of the LA drive coming up here, 2nd and goal to go. Garcia quickly swings it out to the left and reaching across, but didn't quite get in, was Samora Goodson. Trying to use that 6'3" frame, but will be stopped short of the goal line.
Well, you can see this KISS offense. They're very content with that short passing game, getting the ball out on the edges in your playmakers' hands and see if they can't make something happen. Really good pursuit by Keith Brown coming in the game with 68.5 tackles.
At Guyton, and quickly finds Donovan Morgan back at the end zone as they had that Arizona defense on their heels a little bit with that quarterbacking change. Kenny Guyton out of Ohio State, and finds the mark for the KISS touchdown.
A little AFL version of the read option. You bring Guyton in the game, and he's a threat with his legs and kind of bobbles the snap. He could run the ball, and very patient as Morgan comes open across the middle of the end zone.
And another successful scoring drive for the visiting LA KISS. Snapped an 8-game losing streak with their victory over Portland last week. As we'll take another look at that scoring play.
This is a scary thing. You bring in a quarterback for one play. He's not used to taking snaps, and center's not used to doing a shotgun snap, and you do it for one play. Sometimes you can have a mess up with the operation, but nice job by Guyton concentrating on the football, keeping his composure, and this KISS did a nice job driving the ball down the field, using a bunch of clock, and coming away with a touchdown.
And a scoring drive, Dale, that chewed up nearly 6.5 minutes.
So as much as Coach Guy thinks his KISS offense might be evolving, I still think when you're playing this Rattler team, you want to keep the possession number down as low as possible.
And already a different feel and a different start from the last time these two clubs met, with Arizona clobbering LA back on May 25th, 70-25. One of 5 times this season that Arizona has hung 70 on the board. Brown back deep, takes it cleanly about 7 yards deep, cuts it back across the 5, finds a little seam. But then good pursuit that time by LA to shut him down as he approaches the 13-yard line.
You know, we always talk about the big play receivers, big play ability. This Arizona offense can score in a hurry and from anywhere on the field, but that offensive line that Coach Connie Kawhi has coached this year, young, very inexperienced as the year has gone along, with Sherman Carter and Joe Gibbs and Keith Williams, and he's molded them into one of the best groups in this league and continuing to get better as the season goes along.
Windsor in motion, swings it outside to Poots as you hear the fans echoing his name throughout the arena.
You talk about having an advantage when you do have Windsor, Poots, Purify, all healthy. It is very, very difficult to play defense against this football team.
And like Maurice Purify, Poots has missed 4 games this season. Davila on second down, all kinds of time, winds up, throws deep, looking for Purify, and makes the catch. Purify over there, the dasher boards and into the stands with a wrestling match.
And on Andre Freeman, you can't play defense a whole lot better than this. Running stride for stride. You know the dasher board's there. You almost get your hand in there. Just better execution. The ball put the only place where Purify could catch it.
And we're going to get early movement up front on that left side by Michael Huey.
Well, sometimes you hurry up on offense. And you're trying to keep the defense off balance, and you go on a quick count, which is something you don't normally do, and those offensive linemen are anticipating, defense is yelling things out, you hear something, you're going on first sound, and Michael Huey just got leaning a little bit forward, and unfortunately when you're 325 pounds, a little lean looks like a big lean.
So backs him up now. 1st and goal to go. Going to swing pass to Windsor, gets a downfield block, and I'll say he steps out just inside the 2-yard line. We approach 1 minute to play here in this opening quarter.
6'2", 205 pounds is Rod Windsor, and Arizona lining up quickly again to run the football. The Kiss get a timeout though before the ball snapped. You know, it's always interesting because this game goes so fast, but yet Coach Guy likes to change that rhythm, does not want your defense to get comfortable, and every once in a while he'll go into an arena football like hurry up, which is really fast.
You see Bob McMillan, first season with LA after doing a really terrific job last year with Chicago under the circumstances, and has turned himself into one of the better coaches in the Arena League. Played fullback and linebacker for Arizona, part of that 1997 championship club. Spent 6 years here in the desert. Poots, the motion receiver. Poots with a touchdown grab.
Poots working on J.C. Neal, and just a great rapport with Nick Davila, almost indefensible. Gets away with a little bit of a push off on J.C. Neal, but the ball's thrown as he's making his cut.
And that little push off that you mentioned is what drew the ire of Bob McMillan, who came out about 10 yards and was going after the back judge. Looked like Merle Robinson. And Robinson continuing to shake his head at McMillan.
Well, it's all about perspective. From the Arizona perspective, that's just a gentle push. For the Kids, you're saying it was a giant shove.
Snap high, but Arrieta, who has really made some incredible grabs, comes up with a big one there. Tanamore punches it through for the extra point. Tied at 14. All right, you talk about that little nudge. You've got J.C. Neal, who checks in at 6 feet 200. And meanwhile, Tyson Poots, 6'2", 220.
Well, that's one thing Coach Guy has said about doing here with the Arizona Rattlers is he likes those big, tall, physical receivers.
Well, great seats still remain for Sunday, July 20th game against the Portland Thunder. Be sure and get your tickets now. Call 602-514-TDTD or go online at azrattlers.com. Cruz back deep to receive the kick from Rattlers. Leaping high before it has a chance to hit the crossbar. Cruz has a little seam, and then is spun around across the 15 out near the 17, and then a late flag as Rattlers came up to assist on the tackle and might get a face mask. Check in with Chris Harris.
Hey guys, the LA Kiss are no longer the only team with rock and roll ties in the AFL. Yesterday, the league announced that Vince Neil, lead singer of Motley Crue, has been approved as an owner to start an expansion team, which will call Las Vegas Home Sweet Home. They'll begin play next season, and Neil wants his team to be called the Outlaws. Guys?
All right, great to see Vegas getting back on the AFL map as Garcia completes on the far side. That'll be the final play of the opening quarter. Two Western Division foes going at it. We're tied at 14 apiece. LA, Arizona. Second quarter coming up.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor, and double down. Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew, Casino, Arizona, win your way. Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game.
If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out today.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
I think our record speaks for itself playing at home, so I think it's very important that we get home field advantage, and you know, we're just taking one goal at a time, and right now it's to lock down that second round of playoffs. We've already locked down the first round of home playoffs, so we want to get that second round so it comes through the desert here.
14-14, and yes, their record does speak for itself, and you know, Dale, from your playing days, how critical it is to win at home, and they've done more than just win at home. They have been dominant here over the last 3 seasons.
They've done a really, really nice job, and they do take pride in holding down home turf, and this crowd really does give them an advantage.
Garcia lines his club up, tied at 14 as we begin the second quarter on second down. Completes it short, and then it turns into a long gain after the catch. Brandon Tompkins, 5'10" wideout out of Arkansas State, makes the grab.
Well, there's a classic case. The other mantra the coaching staff was preaching this week was tackling, and the one thing you can't work on in practice because you've had short weeks. This is the first regular week they've had in almost a month, but you can't be physical with the number of players you have, so very difficult to work on the skill of tackling, and it's kind of shown its ugly head here the last 2 weeks for the Rattlers.
Morgan, the motion man. Garcia, lots of time, fires it back. Corner, it's going to be picked off by Marquise Floyd. His 10th pick of the season.
Well, we talked about him in the open, and Coach Guy just went on and on and on about what a tremendous football player Marquise Floyd is, and just reads Garcia's eyes, able to undercut the route, just tremendous instincts, along with great hands, and his physical quarterback, defensive back, as you're going to see in arena football, his 10th interception on the season.
Number 4 on the all-time career interception list and climbing 42nd of his career, and just is really continues to marvel as the veteran playing at a high level as Kerry Reed makes the catch and spins back to the inside, and the first down. Rattlers check in with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Here with Marquise Floyd. What do you know? Another interception. 10th interception of the year. That leads the league. All of them coming in the last 7 games. What's been going on with you?
Hey, man, Coach God just tell us to attack the football and come out and play good, and the D-line get pressure on AG, and he made some ill-advised throws, and I was there.
52nd interception of your career. Ranks 4th all-time in the league. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot, man. This league been good to me. You know, I spent 7 of my years here in this league, 3 in the NFL, but this right here is my home. So I'm just glad to pass my big brother, Barry Wagner. I know he's probably looking at the game, man, and he probably wishing me luck, man.
When you look at this LA Kiss team here tonight, what makes it different from the team you saw back in LA earlier in the year?
Oh, AG been around his receivers a little longer, so they kind of got a little more chemistry. And me and Donovan Morgan been going at it since AF2, so it was good to get the interception on him.
And Tyson Poots with the touchdown here. Let's get it back upstairs to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, speaking of chemistry, Dale Hellestrae.
Such a nice job. I mean, it's Tyson Poots just does an absolutely tremendous job watching right here, and he's just going to end up running a corner route so hard to cover into space. You almost have to guess if you're the defensive back, ball's in the air before he actually makes his cut. Almost indefensible when your timing is that good.
The Poots touchdown, and the extra point gives Arizona their first lead of the night as they're on top of the Kiss, 21-14. (21-14), Arizona leading LA. Let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Thanks, Kevin. Hope in a Box has been a season-long effort by the Rattlers organization and St. Vincent de Paul to collect donations to help benefit our community. Now, the team set a goal of reaching 100,000 pounds of donated items before the end of the season, and they are just shy of reaching this goal. So we want to applaud all the fans on your contributions so far and ask that you continue to help the team reach this targeted amount by bringing in non-perishable food items to donate at the next Rattlers home game on July 20th. Guys.
Thank you, Lindsay. Santamore with a high kick returned up the near sideline as Tompkins makes his first return of the night.
You know, you go back to that interception by Floyd to give the Rattlers offense the ball. What this team has done such a good job of this year is when the defense creates a turnover, the offense takes advantage of it. So many times you see a defense play really well, give the offense good field position with turnovers or stops, but yet the offense not able to take advantage of it. Not the case here in Arizona.
Garcia, quick toss here to the near side. Leads it to Samora Goodson.
You know, and you talk about Marquise Floyd, hey, he's kind of intimated if they happen to win another Arena Bowl, this might be his last season. Now, he hasn't come out and said that, but he's kind of hinted around a little bit. And Coach Guy was saying on Thursday when we were talking to him, he said, we could move him into Jack linebacker, and I promise you he'd be an all-arena Jack linebacker. That's how good of an athlete that he is.
Another quick toss. And this one goes for a loss of about 1.5 yards as Goodson not able to get around the corner that time. That's good pursuit by Marquise Floyd.
Watch just a tremendous reaction as the ball's in the air, the closing speed, the physicality. I don't know. He doesn't look like a guy who this ought to be his last year. I can promise you that.
Sets up 3rd and long here for Garcia and the Kiss. Deep drop pass, time to throw, but the pass falls short of the intended receiver, Donovan Morgan. Well, that brings up 4th down now for LA.
Well, and you can see a little frustration on Aaron Garcia, his body language, and it's things like that. You don't know if Donovan Morgan ran that route a little too deep, and Garcia's trying to throw to a spot, but that's part of that familiarity that Garcia and his receivers have got to get, and they've got to get it in a hurry.
Morgan, the motion receiver, pressure comes off the backside, throwing deep, touchdown LA. A perfect strike from Garcia to Donovan Morgan.
What you got to love about that, Garcia a little frustrated on the play before, so what do? Do you not throw the ball back to Morgan? Well, 100 catches on the year, I think you go back to him, but immediately gives his receiver another chance, and Donovan Morgan does a great job taking advantage of it.
Point after is no good by Kenny Spencer. So, despite the touchdown, Arizona remains on top, 21-20.
The Auction Indian community and Troon Golf invite you to tee up a pure golf experience at Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club. Ranked as one of the top 10 best courses you can play in Arizona by Golf Week, Auction Southern Dunes is known for its relaxed atmosphere, premier course conditions, and spectacular service. Just 30 minutes south of Sky Harbor Airport, Auction Southern Dunes features stunning golf and a casual yet elegant restaurant. Visit us at golfsoutherndunes.com for the best available rates. Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club, a pure golf experience.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
(21-20), Arizona leading LA is the veteran Aaron Garcia talking things over with his teammate Donovan Morgan. Just made the touchdown catch.
I can tell you this Rattler organization, coaches, team, they have a tremendous amount of respect for Aaron Garcia, the job that he does. Bob McMillan, the head coach, and Coach Guy couldn't say enough nice things about Walt Houseman, the defensive coordinator. He's house. He's going to be physical. He's going to bring it. His team's going to bring it. I said, hey, what's his first name? He goes, I don't know. He's house. He's big as a house.
He says, that's all I've ever called him, is house. Brown collects it off of the nets. And great pursuit again down there by that special teams unit. They've done a nice job of limiting the return game for Arizona.
Marquise Floyd threw a nice block, took a big hit on the play, and looked like he was kind of walking the wrong way there for a second, but got his bearings about him.
The internal compass finally took over. So we approach 8 minutes to go here in this first half. Deep drop here for Davila, winding up throwing deep. Got Purified there. And in typical Arizona fashion, as they've done so many times this season, a one and done. The deep strike, Davila to Maurice Purified, 43 yards for the Arizona touchdown.
Well, the only reason this could happen, the protection up front. We talked about the Bell brothers and the pressure they bring in the middle. They get some late pressure, but not enough to keep Nick from stepping up into the pocket, delivering a strike. Nice route by Maurice Purified. And as you said, another quick score for the Rattler offense.
And Ratanamorn sticks in between the uprights for a 28-20 Arizona lead. 7:27 to go here in the second.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
28-20 after the Davila touchdown pass to Maurice Purify. Rattlers on top. Let's check in with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. This is the 5th straight year that the Latin Laser has hit the century mark for touchdowns in a single season. Absolute consistency from Nick. And you take a look at the numbers, 102 in 2010, 117, 113, 110, and 100 here this season. He ranks all-time 8th place in the AFL now with 542 career touchdowns. And just in case you're wondering, the AFL record for most touchdowns in a single season is held by Tommy Grady when he did it with Utah with 142. But Nick Davila continues to get it done for the Arizona Rattlers. Guys?
Well, and Nick getting off to somewhat of a sluggish start here tonight. 10 for 10, 167 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's just astounding the numbers that this guy puts up.
Here's Wilcox, makes a little cutback and finds an alley, breaks across the 20 at midfield, and finally wrestled to the turf by Kerry Reed. So a nice return there by A.J. Cruz.
Kevin, 10 for 10 to start out a game. There's a lot of quarterbacks who can't go 10 for 10 in just passing on air in a Wednesday or Thursday practice. 10 for 10, 167 yards and 4 touchdowns. And how many times have we seen Nick in this offense start a game where he's 15 of 16 and 12 of 13? Just tremendous testament to the work ethic, the play calling of Coach Guy, and the skill level on the football field.
And certainly a testament to his focus this in what has been an incredibly emotional season for the Latin Laser. As Reed unable to bring that one in, thought he had the sure interception. Of course, Davila dealing with the passing of his father recently, who he was so close to.
And you know, not only Nick fighting through that, family fighting through that. You see Harry Reid almost come up the interception, but you just had so many things go on with this football team, and sometimes that's your sanctuary. Your buddies on the football team can help you get through some difficult times.
On second down here for Garcia as they remain alive after that very uncharacteristic drop by Kerry Reed, and defended over there on the far side by Alan Chapman. Getting some snaps here in the secondary. And now we've got another injured LA player. Let's check in with Chris Harris downstairs once again.
Hey guys, it was 27 years ago this week that the Arena Football League debuted with a 4-game regular season featuring just 4 teams: the Chicago Bruisers, Denver Dynamite, Pittsburgh Gladiators, and Washington Commandos. Pittsburgh beat Washington in the inaugural game, but it was Denver that would go on to win Arena Bowl 1, beating Pittsburgh by a score of 45-16. The head coach of Denver was Tim Markham, who would go on to win a record 7 Arena Bowls in his illustrious career. Markham passed away earlier this year, and teams around the league have remembered him by wearing TM pins throughout the season. Tim Markham was not only a great coach and mentor to many, but also a great man. Guys?
Yeah, he certainly left his mark on the game, Chris. That is without a doubt. You know, this arena game has been counted out so many times throughout the years, Dale, but I think when you look at the new ownership, new leadership around the league, I think it has really gotten itself reestablished on solid ground now. You heard Chris talk about the announcement yesterday with Vegas bringing back a franchise with Vince Neil, a motley crew.
Well, and you just take a look here at this Arizona Rattlers organization, and it should be the model for all arena football teams. Is Ron Schertz, Joe Wyndham doing a tremendous job as the owner, president, and allowing his head coach, general manager, Kevin Guy, to get the players that he needs, and first-class facilities, and first-class place to play. And I think that's the model that the Arena League would like to go after.
Julius Wilson being helped off the field there. Garcia comes back, throws near side, pass sails high, but well defended over there by Chapman. And probably just as well as high as Chapman may have had a chance to get the interception. Brings up 4th down.
Well, Chapman, one of those young DBs Coach Guy's excited about. They call him Bubba. 5'11", 185 pounds out of Kansas State, and Bubba can fly.
And has the one characteristic that all good corners need to have, and that is a great deal of confidence. Garcia deep drop here on 4th and short, scrambles out of the pocket, throws far side, incomplete, and the Arizona defense turns him over on downs.
Tremendous job by the defensive backs from the Rattlers, and you have to say the officiating allow them to play very, very physical. I mean, you got 3 receivers, but watch the physicality of the Rattlers defensive backs, hands on them. Now again, if you're a KISS fan, you're going to say maybe that's interference. If you're a Rattler fan, you're going to say, hey, that's good physical defense. But you have to adjust to how the officials are calling the game. If they allow you to bump and grind a little bit, then you go ahead and play that way.
By and large, it appears as though the officials have allowed a little more physical contact from the secondary and defenders than we've seen in recent years.
Well, I think the league understands fans don't come to these games to really watch great defense, number one. And number two, they don't want to see flags flying all the time on the field. They want to see action, which is one of the great things about arena football. It's nonstop flying around the football field for 60 minutes.
And penalty marked off against Arizona, so first and long here for Davila. And looking for Poots, who had turned his route to the inside, and Davila throws to the outside, so miscommunication there.
Well, you saw Poots pointing to the Jack linebacker, Matt Estrada. Nick thought he was going to do one thing, and Poots doing another thing. And, you know, the Jack linebacker, he can just disrupt a whole lot of things if he's athletic and has some ball instincts, and Estrada did a nice job there.
First incompletion of the night for Davila, as we're under 3.5 to play here in the first half. Deep drop finds Poots, this time right on the money. Poots with a stiff arm spins away, but a nice job to stay with it that time defensively by A.J. Cruz to make the tackle.
We talked about it in the open. Watch how this offensive line is going to slide down here, try and get a big body on Bo Bell, and then Singleton comes out and blocks the defensive end, and that's what this team's going to do all night long.
Davila looking for Poots again, but that pass just beyond his reach. Ball's incomplete as the clock continues to move.
Bo Bell coming in the game with 11.5 sacks, and he likes those fullback matchups where he gets a 5-yard run and start at your fullback and can either use power or can go ahead and try and swim, move around him. But all of a sudden you put a 320-pound lineman on him and you stop the momentum a lot quicker.
Second and 10 here for Arizona. Davila with time, looks for Poots. Pass may have gotten tipped at the line of scrimmage as it came in low on Poots as he was making his break.
Well, looks like he's human. At least he's not a robot out there. A couple incompleted passes as the Rattlers look like they're going to slow down just a little bit. They just soon get this inside a minute and make the LA KISS start using one of their 2 remaining timeouts in the half.
Arizona facing their first third down of the game. Davila with time, comes near side, finds Windsor. First down, Windsor shakes the defender. Windsor, touchdown.
A threat to score from anywhere on the football field. J.C. Neal coming up to make the tackle. Nice, easy throw, good protection, and none of these receivers want to go down. A little stutter step, and down the sideline, Rod Windsor makes it look really, really easy.
That scoring play takes us to the 1-minute mark. You get a good look at Rod Windsor, who's enjoying another fabulous campaign. 9 straight games now with a touchdown. Zanamore. Perfect on the extra point.
I think the one thing you look at this Arizona Rattler team, if there's a concern, you're sitting there at 13-0, the Kiss struggling this season. I know they won last week, but are you going to show up to start the game in the right mental frame of mind? And I think you can check that off as a yes with the Arizona Rattlers. I think as a coaching staff, that's the number one thing that you have to ask for and expect. To show up every game with the same mentality to win that game.
Check in with Chris Harris.
Hey guys, we give a lot of credit to quarterback Nick Davila and his slew of receivers with the success they've had, and deservedly so. But how about the big fellas up front, the offensive line? Davila has only been sacked 3 times this season, and he hasn't been sacked at all since week 2 against Spokane. If those guys aren't giving Nick any time, a lot of these plays are not happening. Guys?
Well, remember, you also have new faces in there. You have a starting center that goes down. You bring in a young center in Sherman Carter. Keith Williams is playing this year. Joe Gibbs, a new face. Dixon back from last year. He's dinged up a little bit tonight, but give a lot of credit to those guys up front. You're right. And as I said earlier in the half, Connie Kawai doing a tremendous job molding these young guys. There's a lot of coaches out there that don't want to work with young guys because they don't understand the speed of the game. They don't understand the nuances of the game. And consequently, you end up giving up more quarterback hits and sacks.
No chance for a return here for Brandon Tompkins. Garcia with plenty of time and 2 timeouts to work with. His club trailing, though, 35-20. 3 times he's been first team All-Arena, 2000, 2001, and then again in 2011. 2-time AFL Offensive Player of the Year. And one of the AFL's 20 greatest players. From his own end zone, throwing deep, has a man there, leaping high for the grab. Samora Goodson. Or check that, that's Radway.
Well, it's plays like that that rekindle those memories of Aaron Garcia. Give him a little bit of time, puts air under the ball, allows his receiver to run under it. Nice catch by Radway. Getting his hands up, catching the ball at the highest point, making the Rattlers use one of their 3 timeouts to stop the clock. So you see this receiving core, Donovan Morgan coming in the game with 98 catches, and then you go down to Samora Goodson coming into the game with 18 catches. Quite a disparity from your number 1 to your number 2 receiver.
Well, you look at Garcia, and coming into tonight, career-wise, 1,340 touchdowns. How many different receivers, can you imagine, have caught a touchdown pass from Aaron Garcia in his 19 years? This time looks and throws to his right, completes it to his targets. Morgan makes another grab.
Well, I think the one thing you'd like to do if you're the Kiss is get down inbounds instead of running the dasher boards and stop the clock, make this Rattler team burn up their timeouts.
Asking for an adjustment on the clock to 41.2.
Always a cat and mouse game at the end of the half in arena football because you do not want to leave too much time for Arizona to score. And you'd like to see them burn their timeouts, but you have to make sure that you as the LA Kiss get into the end zone.
Guyton has come in. He's already thrown 1 touchdown pass. Took his eyes off the ball and is fortunate to get back and get it recovered as it rolls all the way back to the 19-yard line. Well, he almost bobbled the first snap tonight around the 3, but was able to gather it and quickly throw for the score. Not so fortunate this time.
Well, that is the danger. You have a new center in there, and you're used to snapping the ball to a quarterback that's under you, and now you're doing a shotgun snap. Ball came back a little bit quick and to his left, although as an offensive lineman, I'm always going to say that the quote-unquote skilled guy should be able to make an adjustment, catch the football.
You see Kite trying to explain it to his teammates. Arizona burned their second timeout, so they'll have one remaining. 36.5 left on the game clock. Garcia back in under center, passing far side. Kerry Reed a fingertip away from getting his hands on that one.
Watch the pressure right up the middle here. Antaj Hawthorne, we talked about him earlier. A miscommunication on the offensive line, and Antaj, knowing the point in the game and where they are, holds off on hitting Garcia to avoid the penalty. Tough, nasty, in great condition, and even smart. Tremendous package.
Brings up 4th down here for the Kiss. Garcia pressured, steps up, throws, and batted away. Pass intended for Donovan Morgan. Had it momentarily, but then a great job defensively by Jeremy Kellum. The smaller DB comes in and rips it out.
Looked like this a touchdown all the way. Nice throw by Garcia. Good coverage by Kellum. Never gives up on the play. Gets his hand in there and knocks it out of the arms of Donovan Morgan. Tremendous effort by Jeremy Kellum.
So second time tonight, and both coming in the second quarter, that Arizona defense has managed to turn them over on downs. Turns away a golden scoring opportunity for the Kiss. Lots of time here for Davila and company. Looks to the near side. Ball was batted there at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we came into the game talking about that pressure from the Bell brothers, mainly Bo Bell, 11.5 sacks. B.J. Bell, the nose tackle, came in with 3 sacks. But this Rattler team was very, very aware of that inside pressure.
And it looked like Ojimo may have gotten his hand on that one. Stops the clock at 23.3. Davila looks back to the middle and took a quick hop. The defender Freeman trying to sell the interception, but the back jump right there on top of it says pass incomplete.
Nice job by Freeman trying to get his hands underneath the ball. Obviously a miscommunication between the Rattler receivers. Going to get a better look here, and the ball did skip up there. Nice call by the officials.
So 3rd and 10, 17.8 left here in the half. Davila comes near side to Windsor, will be stopped just short of the 1st down marker.
Well, you need to make sure you get the 1st down here. He's going to bring up 4th down and 1. Again, good protection. Rifles the ball in there. Nice route. But you do not want to give the Kiss back the ball with what would probably be 9-10 seconds left if you don't convert on 4th down here.
Davila gets a snap, and the perfect strike to the far side for Purify with the 1st down grab leaves 8.1 on the clock.
I think Coach Guy, for his conditioning, should just work on calling timeouts at the end of the half. You can see some of that cat-like quickness he used when he was a player. See this defense imposing its will early in the game. Glasper, first play of the game. Floyd with the interception. Pressure on Garcia again. forcing a stop. Jeremy Kellum having a really nice first half. Sticks his hand in there, rips the ball loose again. A lot of guys playing very, very well for this Rattler defense.
Davila going in zone, has his man Windsor there, who has the Arizona touchdown.
Well, that's what's almost disheartening the opposing football teams. There's really no defense for this. Ball's put the only place where Windsor can catch it. Pretty good coverage there by J.C. Neal again. Using the end line of the dasher board as other defenders, and Davila able to drop that ball in there before it goes out of bounds.
Boy, Dale, that's what you call using every inch of the field. On a big turn of events, too, you had L.A. knocking on the door. They bring in Guyton. He mishandles the snap, and then all of a sudden, 3 plays later, they turn it over. And Davila and the Rattlers offense put together another scoring drive, so 40-20, Arizona on top. Let's send it down to Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Here with Rod Windsor, catching 3 of those scoring strikes. Rod, what's been working for you guys offensively?
You know, they've been sitting back on us, giving us a lot of things, so we're just going down, executing our game plan, taking what they're giving us.
As we take a look at the touchdowns, talk about what it's been like with you and Nick dialed in together.
You know, me and Nick been playing together most of our AFL career, so he pretty much know where I'm gonna be at all time.
And how nice of a feeling is that?
Good feeling, great feeling. You know, a great feeling for all of us receivers. And we got a quarterback like that back there.
Appreciate the time, Rod.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's get it back upstairs. Rod Windsor, guys.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that just, you know, for fans oftentimes goes overlooked. And you were touching on it earlier, Garcia and his receiving core in L.A. And as great a quarterback as Garcia is, anytime you've got new surroundings, new teammates, it just takes a while. And they don't have the luxury that Arizona has with Davila, Windsor, Poots, Purify having as many reps as they've had together now over the last 3 seasons.
You want to draw the ire of Coach Kevin Guy. Don't hit the net if you're Rantana Moore.
Never won the ball, plays 5 rule at the 20-yard line. First down.
Don't stop the noise.
The only thing you're asked to do is make sure the ball hits the net. That's a wide landing area. Now you give this LA Kiss team one legitimate shot here to end the half with a touchdown.
Aaron Tannemore had extracted himself from the coach's doghouse enough to get himself back on the roster. But guess he might get an earful here at the half. Garcia looking deep, but throws short. Goodson makes the catch and tries to make something happen after, but a nice open field tackle there by the veteran Marquise Floyd prevents the score. And another dominant first half from the unbeaten Rattlers, who are seeking to go a league all-time best 14-0 to start the season. 42-20 at the half. Stay with us. Our halftime coverage continues here from Ak-Chin Indian Community Field.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
The Arizona Rattlers are back on Cox 7, ready to defend their title. Don't miss exciting Rattlers action this season as Coach Kevin Guy and the Rattlers take on the AFL in their quest for a third straight title. Stay with the Cox 7 sports team all season long as they bring you fast-paced, action-packed, crowd-pleasing Arizona Rattlers arena football. Championship football is back on Cox 7 Sunday, July 20th at 2:30 p.m. as the Rattlers host the Portland Thunder from the Snake Pit. Are you dreaming of a desert oasis where you can enjoy summer fun with your family, relax in the spa, and end your day with a finale of fireworks? Then join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for some summer fun at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess. Take the plunge, ride a wave, relax and rejuvenate, and light up the night. Watch Summer at the Princess, a Cox 7 special Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Or starting June 20th, see it on your own schedule. Go to On Demand, select Free Zone, then Cox, Arizona.
Arizona Rattlers football on Cox 7 is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. It's halftime here in Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center, and Arizona leads LA by a score of 42-20. A big reason for the Rattlers' record start to the season has been the team's attention to detail and their ability to field a strong and healthy team each and every week.
Our philosophy here is we want to be bigger and more physical football team than anybody that we play. It starts with A, keeping our guys healthy, but B, getting stronger, and with strength, you're going to be a more physical football team.
Get that knee up. For the Arizona Rattlers, the two guys in charge of making that happen are strength and conditioning coach Leland Rogers and athletic trainer Sean McManus, both of whom are in their first year with the team.
The challenges are, and this is actually the best part about the job, is every day I have a new opportunity or a new challenge to meet, and the high level that has been set here by our head coach Kevin Guy, our owner Ron Schertz, or any of the other coaches and the players that have been here. I need to make sure everybody's as healthy as they can be to be able to compete at a high level. So every day I walk in the building, that's the goal.
When you have guys that are professionals, they have a system that they're used to in being successful, and we do things that are a little different. And so the challenges at first was getting them to accept the new philosophy and buying into that.
The players have bought into the new philosophy and are benefiting from the results.
It makes you feel real good just coming on game day with the attitude like I'm in the best shape of my life, that I know the team we're going against haven't worked harder than us, and we'll see on the field when the game starts, have they put in the work that I have during the week.
For me, when we get into the second half and specifically the fourth quarter and we start physically dominating people, there's nothing more in the strength coach that you go, I feel pretty good about that. You know, I feel like I had a hand in that.
Yeah, good. A key component to staying healthy and being able to play at a high level is communication and trust between players and coaches.
We believe that the Rattlers have a certain mindset that allows us to be successful, so I have to be an extension of that. I can't be having a different philosophy and a different way of my approach. And so first, for the coaches, I want to be an extension. For the players, I'm a coach, but I need to have a different relationship where they can confide in me about things and they can trust me.
What I like about it is when they do get injured and something's going on with them, the rehab is really intense, okay? And not only in the treatment room, but stuff that they're doing out on the field to get these guys back to where they need to be. And to me, that's what professional sports is all about. But a lot of times when players get hurt, they think, well, I don't have to work out. Well, that's not the case. Only one part of your body's hurt. We can work out the rest of your body. So, and it's amazing how fast they recover from injuries when you put them in that position.
At games, McManus is able to get in some conditioning of his own during timeouts.
I've always been taught, you know, you need to be 100%. So just as fast as you can go, you know, you take care of stuff. So that's just what I try to do each and every day.
Players or coaches tweak you all a little bit about your speed out there?
No, you know, they've been great about it. You know, every once in a while I hear, you know, I gotta work my knee drive, so you know that's something I'm working with Leland. You know, so we're doing some squats and some cleans and getting that triple extension. So, you know, every day's opportunity to get better, and that's just something we're really committed to here at the Arizona Rattlers.
A special thanks to Sean McManus and the Rattlers for allowing us the behind-the-scenes access to get that story done. All right, when we come back, Kevin and Dale will have highlights and stats from the first half.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Coraggio for the Oasis Brief. The busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley has now hit pay dirt with their new partnership with the Arizona Rattlers. Oasis is proud to announce that they are now the official hospital of the Arizona Rattlers. And this is a perfect match because the Rattlers are a championship, homegrown organization, and Oasis Hospital is emerging as just that as well. As they continue to transform the healthcare experience, they treat their patients just like family when it comes to orthopedic and spine procedures.
The Rattlers organization as well as Oasis kind of have a lot in common. And one is that we're little known entities, but we're both jewels of the community. The Rattlers being a championship organization, Oasis Hospital being the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley. It's a very exciting thing for us. It allows us to reach out to the community more, allows us to have our presence in the community, and also to provide a very valuable service to the Rattlers organization.
We went over there, saw the facilities, talked to the people there, and their philosophy is the same as ours, doing the best that they can do with everything that they have and every tool that they have. And that's our philosophy. We want to give our players the best, and we want to provide them with the best services possible, and Oasis was a perfect fit for that.
Oasis Hospital would like to wish the Arizona Rattlers good luck here in the 2013 season. I'm Chris Coraggio. We'll see you next time here on the Oasis Brief.
Star Multitainment Center, where kids are the stars.
42-20, Arizona leading LA. Back here at Ak-Chin Indian Community Field here at US Airways Center. Rattlers coming in unbeaten and right now in the driver's seat against his LA team, and a slow start, but boy, they put the pedal to the metal there in that second quarter and really turned things up.
They just find a way to do it, and that really demoralizes another team when you finish a half like that. LA going in with a chance to cut into that lead, go in at halftime in a close ball game, bang, bang, all of a sudden the Rattlers jump on you.
Let's take a look at our Casino Arizona at Talking Stick Resort highlights from this first half. You see Aaron Garcia, what he is so good at, his escape abilities. He finds his receiver there open.
Guyton comes in and throws a touchdown pass. Garcia, again, you see what he's capable of. You see why he's sold for over 60,000 yards. First play of the game, Tyree Glasper sacks Garcia for what looked like a safety, was not called a safety. Windsor with the touchdown, having a tremendous first half. Poots with the touchdown, then Floyd continuing to be a ball hawk, his 10th interception of the season for the Rattlers, and Nick Davila makes him pay with Poots in the corner of the end zone, and Purify 100th touchdown pass of the season for Nick Davila, 5th straight year doing that. And then Windsor with a little shake and bake, kind of reminded me of my high school days there, leaving people in the dust. Windsor with another touchdown.
Yeah, Davila beginning the night 10 of 10, and you see the first half numbers.
No turnovers for the Rattlers. That's one thing they've talked about, protecting Nick Davila. They've done that, and they've gotten a little pressure on Aaron Garcia. So three or four of their keys that they came in the game wanting to get accomplished, they were able to do that in the first half.
Yeah, that Arizona defense turning that LA offense over on downs twice in that first half. Arizona comfortably in the driver's seat, 42-20 with a lead. We're back with third quarter play after this timeout.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford. I like to go out on the town, hit the floor, and double down. Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew, Casino, Arizona, win your way. Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out today.
For document solutions for your business, trust the leader, All Copy Products. Our managed print services solution provides a worry-free printing environment, making your business more efficient and saving you money. Learn more now at allcopyproducts.com.
How did the Arizona Rattlers kick off their season? By improving their training skills at Fast Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training, where you can perfect your speed, agility, strength. By honing in on these key skills, you will have the winning edge and ability to compete at the highest of levels. Foothills Sports Medicine. Train like the pros, perform like the pros.
It's halftime here at Auction Field inside U.S. Airways Center, and Arizona leads L.A. by a score of 42-20. Hello, everybody. Chris Harris here, along with Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy and KG. Coming into tonight's game, I know you wanted to keep the foot on the gas pedal, score a lot of points early on, put some pressure on their quarterback, Aaron Garcia. How do you feel like you did in those two departments?
Well, I thought it was a good half. We started a little slow in the first quarter defensively. We had some chances to get them off the field and kept some drives going because of penalties. But our defense settled down in the second quarter. We went on a 28-6 run in the second, and offense scored every time we had the ball. So I've been pretty pleased there. We got to make sure we keep our foot on the gas pedal this second half. We get the ball first, and let's extend our lead, and then let our pass rush take over the game.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, let's now bring in Lindsey Smith and see what's going on with the social media scene. Lindsey?
Thank you, Chris. Well, we just want to remind the fans that our Ask Dale segment is coming up in the third quarter, but it's not too late to send us your questions. You can post them on our Facebook page at Cox 7 Arizona Sports, or tweet them to us at Cox 7 Arizona. And don't forget, if your questions chose you, you'll win this autographed Arizona Rattlers t-shirt signed by Nick Miller.
The kickoff to the second half. The Rattlers lead the Kiss by a count of 42-20. We'll be right back.
The Arizona Rattlers are back on Cox 7, ready to defend their title. Don't miss exciting Rattlers action this season as Coach Kevin Guy and the Rattlers take on the AFL in their quest for a third straight title. Stay with the Cox 7 sports team all season long as they bring you fast-paced, action-packed, crowd-pleasing Arizona Rattlers arena football. Championship football is back on Cox 7 Sunday, July 20th at 2:30 p.m. as the Rattlers host the Portland Thunder from the Snake Pit. Need tips and training for a new job? Want to be stylish for less? Tune in to Doing More for Arizona as we feature Goodwill of Central Arizona. We'll highlight Goodwill's career services and training program and show you some of the latest fashions for thrifty shoppers. Join J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for a very special Doing More for Arizona. Watch Sunday at 6 p.m. only on Cox 7, or see it on your own schedule. Simply go to On Demand, select Free Zone, then Cox 7 Local.
Back at Auction Indian Community Field here inside U.S. Airways Center. 42-20 our scores. We're about set to begin third quarter play. Kiss in town for their one and only visit here in the regular season. Could be a first-round opponent, Dale. And Goes back to your point earlier about you've got to stay dialed in every single quarter. You see longtime Rattler and big fan favorite in his playing days, Randy Gatewood.
Jersey up in the rafters here. Great football player, great person, great human being, fun to be around. Had a tremendous career here with the Rattlers.
And Randy Gatewood on the LA broadcast crew. Their game's televised on KCAL. Ball is loose, but it did hit the facade there.
Does a tremendous job of keeping this team focused on the task at hand. And he said he addressed it with them this week, and you know that they talked about it. And the number one thing he said is don't allow the outside clutter to cloud your mind. We need to focus on the LA Kiss this Saturday night.
Davila from his own end zone. Guns it complete to Tyson Poots here on the near side.
He also was telling us the story back in 2003 that his team started undefeated 14-0 as a 16-game schedule back then, and after about 12 games they started to feel that pressure. And he said, you know, if I would have known then what I know now, we would have had a chance to finish that season undefeated.
Davila completes on the crossing route to Kerry Reed for the first down.
He said the one thing that sticks out about that season is they did not win the championship. And you know that's all the part of this, whether it's in the NFL or whether it's arena football. Who's playing the best at the end of the season? Who can get on a little bit of a roll to win those playoff games?
First time Singleton has touched the rock tonight as he sheds the oncoming tackler. And Singleton rumbles ahead for an Arizona first down.
One of the things that Coach Guy does so well is he mixes things up as the Rattlers get at the ball real quick. And you can see right here, Singleton just going to sneak out, drop the ball off, take a little bit of that pressure off the pass rush.
Gets it again, this time on the handoff, and just swats away the defender and takes it in for the Rattlers touchdown.
Singleton 5'11", 275 pounds, like a bowling ball bouncing off of bodies, has a nose for the end zone, and talking about getting better each and every week. A guy who's replacing basically a legend here, an Odie Armstrong at fullback, and has come in and each week continues to improve.
Just another great example of the play calling from Coach Kevin Guy. You use your receivers the entire first half, and you come out and go with your fullback to open the scoring drive. As we get the third quarter underway, Arizona extends the lead 49-20 over LA.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
The Auction Indian community and Troon Golf invite you to tee up a pure golf experience at Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club. Ranked as one of the top 10 best courses you can play in Arizona by Golf Week, Auction Southern Dunes is known for its relaxed atmosphere, premier course conditions, and spectacular service. Just 30 minutes south of Sky Harbor Airport, Auction Southern Dunes features stunning golf and a casual yet elegant restaurant. Visit us at golfsoutherndunes.com for the best available rates. Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club, a pure golf experience.
49-20, Arizona leading. The Kiss, Checking with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Here with first-year fullback Alex Singleton, who just scored his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. And Alex, take me through the run, in particular, throwing the guy out of the way going into the end zone.
Well, I was just doing what we trained to do all week. Follow my blocks and wide open, make a play on the ball. If I get the ball, I beat the one man and score. And that's what I did. I knew he was going for my legs, so you stiff him out the way, get up in the end zone.
How do you describe that move, throwing him out of the way?
Hey, I knew he was going to go after my legs, so I just took a step back and, just let him go through. Because I know he ain't going to tackle me up high, so that's just game planning on.
This is your rookie year. How much more comfortable do you feel now than you did in game one?
Well, I feel much comfortable. I learned so much through the weeks that I've been here. And, I'm just developing every week. And that's about it.
Appreciate the time, Alex.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's get back upstairs, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. And go back and look at that play again, Dale.
Watch right here. Just watch the athleticism of these offensive linemen for the Arizona Rattlers. You just don't see guys 330 pounds able to get out on the edge like that. And I don't care if it's Huey or if it's Keith Williams or Joe Gibbs. They're all capable of getting out there in space and throwing a block, and that's just a testament to their athletic ability, the coaching of Connie Kauai, and the play calling of Kevin Guy. See the physicality of Alex Singleton. One of those question marks coming in, but the other thing that this team does so well, Coach Guy, he's not afraid to make a change. He's not afraid to bring some new blood in here. So many championship teams you see get old before your eyes. That's not going to happen here.
Garcia trying to utilize the fullback himself here with this LA possession. That pass sails over the hand of the intended receiver Joe Mortensen out of the backfield.
Well, you go back to that drive, you pointed it out. I mean, you had a screen, you had a run, both to Singleton. What those plays do, they're not designed to necessarily score for big yardage. What they're there to do is take a little bit of pressure off your offensive line and slow down that pass rush.
On second down, Garcia from his own end zone takes a hit just as he throws, and then the pass batted away, and then a late flag comes flying in. Pass intended for Donovan Morgan. And Garcia is still down on the turf.
Defense number 20. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You can see the pressure first here, Garcia. Dukes and Glasper sandwich. And the ball down the field, and seems like there's been a lot more contact on plays previous in this game, and it's the one thing that will frustrate players. If you're going to call it tight, call it tight. If you're not, don't all of a sudden change.
Fullback Mortensen with the straight ahead carry.
You've seen this KISS team try to do things to keep that pass rush off of Garcia too, some screens and some runs and things of that nature, and the smart coaches in arena football do that. You can't drop back and do 3 5-step drops all game long.
Well, one of the great trademarks of Garcia is his ability to move around in the pocket when he feels that pressure, just as we see him do here, as buying that extra time allows him to complete it downfield. Fires up his receiver, Brandon Tompkins.
Anyway, you talk about right here, watch Garcia feel pressure, and then he rolls out to the right to buy a little extra time. Very accurate on the run. Tompkins comes down with the catch, and then going to talk a little smack to Mr. Chapman, and Chapman says, look at the scoreboard.
Garcia, and nowhere to go this time, and he fires it into the stands. Well, Rattler fans still remember how good Garcia is at buying time. You go back to 2011 when they were just seconds away from Garcia with a brief retirement after capturing the elusive championship for him at that time, but just could not stay away from the game. As he completes it here on the near side to Donovan Morgan.
Well, when you can still play at a high level, it is difficult to walk away from the game. Garcia, the career he's put together, that's why you get to know Marquise Floyd a little bit, and you go, yeah, are you gonna? The thing you miss when you leave the game is not so much the actual game itself or the soreness the next day. It's the locker room, it's the guys, it's being part of that bonding of a football team.
On third down, Garcia finds a wide open Morgan. There is a penalty marker thrown out around the 7-yard line.
That's usually in the area of illegal defense or jack linebacker out of the box.
And Kevin Guy giving the official an earful.
Illegal defense, the jack linebacker, number 19, was in excess of 5-yard deep. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
Kevin Guy asking for an explanation.
And there's specific rules for the jack linebacker. Can't be further than 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and sometimes you try and sneak out there and make a play.
Extra point by Spencer is good.
Extra point is up and good.
7:49 to go, third quarter. It's your Rattlers.
49-27 our score. Step aside for a timeout.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor, and double down. Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew, Casino, Arizona, win your way. Here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out today.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
49-27. Rattlers leading the KISS. Let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Dale, it's time. I'm joined by Jeremy Martin. Jeremy, what was your question for Dale?
How is the team reacting to the media, and how are they told to respond to the media during their perfect season?
Well, the way Kevin Guy's handling it is the fact that he understands it's there. He's not going to ignore it, number one. Number two, though, the focus is on this week, and I think that's what the entire team has bought into, and that's why you're seeing them play the way they're playing tonight.
Thank you, Dale, for your insight as always. And Jeremy, you are the winner of this Nick Miller signed Arizona Rattlers t-shirt. Congratulations.
All right, good stuff. And thanks as always from the fans for the Ask Dale question each week. Well, and you heard Kevin Guy talk in the pregame and earlier here in our telecast. It really does become kind of one of those tricky situations. You know, you get later on in the season, there's so many things you have to look at. As the pass from Davila sails high over the intended receiver, Windsor's head. There is a penalty marker thrown. Singleton slow to get up out the Arizona end zone.
Lead formation, number 56 defense. The rushing linebacker was moving forward at the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Goes Brown, 6'2", 255 out of Virginia Tech, the guilty party for LA. Of course, this is an LA team that, you know, we got the email midweek, 10 transactions. So this is an organization that is intent on establishing a winning culture quickly. Here's a little toss to Tyson Boots. Looks like he may have just enough of the first down.
Well, you go back to, you know, you win tonight, you clinch home field advantage through the Western Conference, and then you have Cleveland, who, if you finish with the same record, there's about 4 different tiebreakers you have to get to between Cleveland and Arizona if Cleveland does not lose any more games. And it's about the 5th one that is just scoring. The other ones are head-to-head competition, which Cleveland and Arizona don't play against each other. A bunch of things that won't come into play. But at the end of the day, this isn't even the National Football League, to where you get to the last week or two. If you have everything clinched, you only have 21 guys that you can suit up. You know, so you have 8 and 8, that's 16. That means you have 5 reserve. One of them's a backup quarterback, and one of them's a kicker. So it's not like you can really make wholesale changes to try and rest bodies those last couple weeks.
On second down, Davila stays in a pocket, completes it across the middle to Windsor. Bobbled it momentarily, but stayed with it. There is a penalty marker in the backfield. And looks like we're going to get a hold charged against Arizona. Carter, 6'3", 310 out of Tennessee State. Rung up for that infraction.
When you go back to, you know, can you rest guys, but you still want to keep momentum, those kind of things going to playoffs. This Rattler team has played 76 games since 2011. 76 of them. That's more than any team in the history of arena football over a 4-year stretch.
Davila, lots of time, and a pass sailing high over the head of Poots. And Davila expecting perhaps a go right up the middle.
There's that slide protection. Nice job by Huey. Ball just sails on Nick a little bit. And that's a quarterback's view. You're throwing to a spot a lot of times where you can't see where your receivers are. But, you know, you look at those 76 games, and remember, a whole bunch of those were playoff games, which are higher intensity, more physical. Those type of games take a bigger toll on your body.
Davila has time, winds up, finds a wide open Rod Windsor, who races in for the Arizona touchdown. 42 yards, Davila to Windsor.
Little pressure on Davila this time as he lets go of the ball. He's getting hit, throws the ball to a spot. Windsor does a tremendous job avoiding Andre Freeman and getting into the end zone.
4th touchdown catch of the night for Windsor. Danamorn on for the point after. Arizona continuing to cruise, leading 56-27.
Hey Rattler fans, I'm Chris Coraggio. Did you know that the busiest orthopedic hospital in the Valley is now the official hospital of your Arizona Rattlers? I'm talking about Oasis Hospital, which transforms the healthcare experience. They treat their patients just like family. And now they're part of the Rattlers family. Oasis is thrilled to partner up with the most exciting team in all of the Arena League. To learn more about Oasis Hospital, visit their website, oasishospital.com. And go Rattlers!
Well, I was always a Han Solo guy. I liked Han Solo. You know, he seemed to always be quick temper, had an attitude, and you know, was a little bit of a smart aleck, and that would be me if I was playing that role.
I thought it might be Darth Vader.
I do like Darth Vader, but he dies in the end. I don't see me losing, so so no, I was sticking with the winning team.
And that was Rattlers head coach Kevin Guy talking about his favorite Star Wars character here on Star Wars Night. Here in the Snake Pit, everybody getting dressed up and taking part in the festivities this evening. By the way, Star Wars was released May 25th, 1977. It made $800 million worldwide, but it did not win Best Picture at the Academy Awards that year. What did win? Annie Hall, the classic from Woody Allen. Guys?
Well, and Dale, I can happily say that I saw neither of them.
Hold on, you didn't see Star Wars?
Well, I saw part of Star Wars. I was never a big Star Wars guy either. I saw maybe.
Like, how do you see part of it? Did you leave halfway through like I did through the play with cats? I walked out after the first intermission.
Oh no, I didn't go to the theater to see Star Wars. It was when it finally came on TV 10 years later.
Okay.
And it couldn't hold my attention. So you're not alone.
Annie Hall won an Oscar?
What are you going to do? Garcia, deep drop, winds up. And good battle there in the secondary. Bubba Chapman, who's seen a lot of reps since second quarter, able to get his hands on Brandon Tompkins.
Just grown into a role, plays with a lot of confidence, has great makeup speed. You know, we talked about the offensive line a lot. Defensive line, Dave Ewert brought in this year. He's had a tremendous impact on that defensive line. Coach Guy said it's the second and third pass rush moves. How do you counter drills they do? Able to spend time with them, and he's just seen great progress over the season.
Garcia steps up and completes it across the middle to Donovan Morgan. Right, a terrific season continues for Donovan Morgan. 6'3", 225 out of Pearl. Trying to catch the Rattlers off guard to give to the fullback. When you look at it, Donovan Morgan, and I see a lot of Maurice Purify in Donovan Morgan. The way he plays, very physical receiver, and almost relishes the contact after the catch, and those same similarities with the stiff arms.
Well, I was going to say, you throw a Rattler jersey on him, and he'd fit right in with the size and the makeup and the ability.
Second down. Garcia looking in zone, and look who's there again. Number 19 for the second time tonight, Marquise Floyd. Almost in the exact same spot that he picked off Garcia back in the first half. This one's number 11 on the season.
This is being the right place, right time. Ball underthrown a little bit. Marquise understanding that we got back here. That's another defender. So he's just staying under the receiver. Understand there's not a whole lot of room back there to fit a football in, and ball a little bit underthrown. And how many defensive backs do you see have a chance to make an interception, but you ultimately see him drop the ball? Marquise doesn't let out opportunities like that get away too often.
Here's Windsor. Windsor's got room to operate. Couple of beautiful cutbacks, and he will not be denied. Windsor takes it to the house. 45 yards for the Rattler score.
Well, number one for the Kiss, number one for the Rattlers, both tremendously gifted physical receivers. They just don't want to go down.
Extra point no good, but does not diminish the spectacular play that we saw from Rod Windsor just a moment ago. We head to the fourth quarter here at Ak-Chin Indian Community Field. Arizona rolling over LA, 62-27.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
How do the Arizona Rattlers kick off their season? By improving their training skills at Fast Foothills Acceleration and Sports Training, where you can perfect your speed, agility, strength. By honing in on these key skills, you will have the winning edge and ability to compete at the highest of levels. Foothills Sports Medicine. Train like the pros, perform like the pros.
The Arizona Rattlers are back on Cox 7, ready to defend their title. Don't miss exciting Rattlers action this season as Coach Kevin Guy and the Rattlers take on the AFL in their quest for a third straight title. Stay with the Cox 7 sports team all season long as they bring you fast-paced, action-packed, crowd-pleasing Arizona Rattlers arena football. Championship football is back on Cox 7 Sunday, July 20th at 2:30 p.m. as the Rattlers host the Portland Thunder from the Snake Pit.
(62-27) our score as we welcome you back here to Ak-Chin Indian Community Field inside U.S. Airways Center.
Going back to that touchdown, obviously we talk about Rod Windsor a lot, and rightfully so, but watch Michael Huey come right back here. See how far he is downfield, comes back, throws a key block, and then at the end of the run, as Windsor runs through and around and drags people in the end zone, Michael Huey, one of the first down there, to congratulate him right there. You do not see 320-pound guys run 50 yards like that. Tremendous job by Michael Huey.
Well, the Kilgore, Texas native loves football, and he loves this Rattlers team and his teammates.
He's saying, hey, it's about time for me to catch a pass. W after the 10 for 10 start, 21 of 28, 373 yards, and an oh, by the way, 8 touchdowns.
That one caroms high off of the upright, and LA fortunate to keep possession of it. And Dale, you go back to 59 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. It was tied 14-14. Since that point, Arizona has gone on a 48-13 run over this KISS team. They got off to a tremendous start. They scored first. They led 7-0 and then 14-7. But since then, Arizona has absolutely dropped the hammer. Garcia steps up, throws, completes to his favorite target, Donovan Morgan. There's a penalty marker back around the 4.
Looks like it's going to be holding against the LA Kiss.
Holding, offense. Number 63, penalties after next goal, repeat first down.
Joe Matson gets tagged with the holding call, and you're right. And why is that so? Well, Arizona's not turned the ball over. The Kiss has. Arizona has taken advantage of those turnovers. And I think the thing that's almost scary about this Rattler team is they are so explosive on both sides of the football.
And you got some guys who are inactive tonight who have turned into playmakers when they are in uniform. You look at Pitcock, look at Nick Miller, who's not playing tonight. Miller, in his limited playing time in his first season here in Arizona, has really turned into a playmaker, both as a return man and a receiver. Isaac Remington.
Well, another one is you talked about that offensive line. Cornelius Dixon not playing tonight. He's a guy who graded out the highest last week. And talking to Connie Kawhi, Cornelius Dixon graded out 96% last week. I said, Connie, you're getting way too easy on this line, on these linemen, 96%, but playing really, really well, and he's not here tonight.
First and long as Garcia completes it near side to Morgan.
You see Morgan, and they're very impressed with him. You know that's where Garcia wants to go with the football, and you try and mix up coverages and do things to take Morgan away from Garcia, and yet they still find a way to complete passes.
Garcia, quick snap and throw as he finds his speedy receiver who is able to get separation. And Brandon Tompkins racing through the secondary for the LA score. 37 yards on the 1-yard throw and 36-yard run by Tompkins, but it goes down as a touchdown pass from Garcia to Tompkins.
Well, I got to give credit to the Kiss offensive line too, doing a nice job getting downfield, getting in the way of those defenders for the Rattlers, and that's where those little passes turn into huge plays when you get your offensive lineman downfield, not necessarily even making a block, but getting in somebody's way.
Tompkins again able to get separation on the defender Chapman, and the 2-point conversion from Garcia to Tompkins is good. Early fourth quarter action, but Arizona still in the driver's seat, 62-35 lead.
Star Multitainment Center, where kids are the stars.
Sanderson Ford, country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
Let's now take a look at the scores around the league this weekend. Last night, Pittsburgh pushed their record to 11-3 with their win over Iowa. And Spokane, they got Eric Meyer back at quarterback. They are now 7-7 on the season. Meyer tallied 6 touchdowns on the night. In tonight's action, look at this one, folks. Cleveland 69, Philly 68. The Gladiators scored on the last play of the game on a Hail Mary pass to get their record to 11-1. How about the War in I-4? The Storm beat the Predators by a count of 35-34. A big win there for Tampa Bay. And one more score to pass along. Jacksonville, the Sharks, with a huge win over the Voodoo by a count of 54-13. Guys?
All right, thank you very much, Chris, as penalty markers fly.
Remember, the ball has to go 10 yards before the kicking team can touch it. Unless it's touched by the receiving team.
Block on the kicking team, number 56. The player blocked before the kicking team was eligible to touch the ball. That's a half the distance penalty, first down.
Bob McMillan just kind of rolls the eyes, and obviously you want your guys running at the Rattlers, but you have to get them above the waist.
Jason Murrieta in to ride the rest of this game out. 11:38 and counting to play. And Murrieta wasting no time, getting his name on the stat sheet. One snap, one throw, touchdown, Rattlers.
Well, that's good for Murrieta. The last time he played meaningful minutes against San Jose, and Coach Guy said the coaches and the players felt they didn't give Jason a chance in that game. They didn't coach well enough, and the players didn't play well enough. They felt bad after the game because they think you give Jason reps during the week and you can win a lot of football games within a quarter.
The Rattlers rolling here in the desert. 69-35.
I like to go out on the town, hit the floor,
and double down.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
I like to play a slot or two, catch a game
With my crew,
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
here they know my name.
They got my favorite game. If you're not here, you're lame.
Really?
Sorry.
Casino, Arizona, win your way.
Arizona's luckiest place has a new look. Check it out.
$69-35 our count. 10:51 to play here in the fourth quarter. Let's check in with Lindsey Smith.
Hey guys, well, it's Miller time. Nick Miller is our social player this week. You can follow Nick on Instagram at NickMiller17 and on Twitter at NickMiller89. Now, Nick, we did get a question from our Facebook fan, Mark Eschenbach. He wants to know what's it like playing not only for a hometown team, but also playing for the best team in the
enough to play in a lot of places, but there's really nothing like, playing in front of your hometown. I'm not playing tonight, unfortunately, but I still have 35 people here. And obviously we have a great organization. It's just great to be a part of it and play in front of the family.
Great, well, thank you so much, Nick. And guys, again, don't forget to follow him on Instagram and on Twitter.
All right, thank you very much, Lindsey. And we were just talking about Nick a few moments ago. It just speaks to the depth of this team and organization. And that one gets away from Tompkins, and it's Takes a big LA bounce into the stands over there. But it's one thing to have depth, Dale, but something completely different to have quality depth. And I think that's really where the big separation with Arizona and some of these other franchises come in.
Well, it's a testament, again, to this organization, from Ron Schertz to Joe Wyndham to Kevin Guy, to never once scour the country for the best players, and then Coach Guy convincing them to come here, and then to have the guts to play them. Again, you're going for a championship here. You're not building for the future, and yet he continues to sprinkle young guys in and give them opportunities in meaningful football games, so that at some point down the line, these guys are going to be stepping in and taking on a full-time role.
You see the frustration on the face of first-year head coach Bob McMillan.
Well, it's really frustrating. You get the kickoff, the first play is a delay of game. Those things will irritate the coaching staff, and along with a veteran quarterback like Aaron Garcia.
Garcia time to throw out of his own end zone, leaping high to make the grab despite the big hit there from Chapman. He's Morgan, who played a splendid game tonight.
Very, very difficult to defend. You continue to see these new guys come in. Chapman getting a lot of playing time tonight and developing that depth. Again, Jeremy Kellum, Chapman, Floyd, DeMar Dorsey, another young kid who's really caught the coaching staff's eye. Arkeith Brown.
Garcia looks across the middle, finds his target. Nice grab right there by Samora Goodson. There's a penalty marker back at the 11.
Isaac Remington. Look at the defensive lineman depth. Antosh Hawthorne out of the game right now. Remington at nose guard. Marcus Pittman, Dukes, Tyree Glasper having one whale of a football season.
Guyton's come into the game again in this short yardage situation. Pass is up and a battle ensues in the end zone, but it's a touchdown for LA. As Radway was able to wrestle it away from Marquise Floyd, who was looking at the hat trick. He wanted his third interception of the night and just missed getting it.
Guyton finally got the snap. Just a tremendous job by Radway fighting a very experienced cornerback in arena football and coming away with the catch.
Trying to keep it on the ground with the two-point conversion. It's no good as we get some extracurricular activity over there between Marcus Pittman and Andres Vargas. 69-41. 8 minutes to play here in the fourth.
Sanderson Ford. Country, community, and complete customer satisfaction. Committed to supporting our troops. Committed to giving back to our community. Committed to providing a better future for our children. And finally, committed to providing a stress-free buying experience with honesty and integrity.
Our product is Ford. Our business is people.
Commitment to Arizona. This is Sanderson Ford country.
Sanderson Ford.
The fastest, most exciting football in the Valley is back as the two-time defending four-time world champion Arizona Rattlers try to battle their way to a third straight Arena Bowl title. Catch your Rattlers as they strike Sunday at 3 against the Portland Thunder. Tickets on sale now at azrattlers.com or 602-514-TDTD.
Well, this is what lies ahead for your Arizona Rattlers. On the road next week, a big challenge playing at host San Jose. And then finally a much-needed bye week, and then at Spokane. And they will close out the regular season home slate July 20th against Portland. A game you'll see right here on Cox 7.
Right here, San Jose. Obviously a rivalry game, number 1. Number 2, the week before the bye. A lot of players have a difficult time focusing on that game before the bye. You're making vacation plans. You're getting out of town. Sometimes your focus is not on that game. Be interesting to see with the rivalry, with being San Jose, can they keep their focus on that game and not on the bye week?
Well, I'm sure Coach Kevin Guy and his staff will pull out the tape from last season, because that's exactly what took place. As Brown waits for the kick, but drops underneath the netting. We should point out, you saw the regular season closes on the road at Orlando, but we have confirmed that the August 3rd playoff game, which will be played here, will be seen right here on Cox 7 Arizona. So looking forward to playoff coverage here on Cox 7 with all you, the Rattler fans. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Murrieta winding up, throwing deep. Boy, and you can see the cannon that Jason Murrieta has. There's a penalty marker down around the 1. And that's one of the differences between Murrieta and Davila as we take another look at it. But Coach Kevin Guy acknowledging that Jason prefers to drop back and chuck it deep.
Got a little bit stronger arm than Nick. Nick is more timing and accuracy. And Coach Guy said if Jason gets into a game that, you know, in crunch time, he's going to learn from that San Jose game and give Jason a better chance to succeed by throwing the ball down the field.
But it has been a great luxury for this organization to have a backup the caliber of Jason Murrieta.
Ball start offense, number 60. In addition to quarterback's hands flicked under the center. That's half the distance, 3 feet to down.
Murrieta, the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year in 2003, 2006. Career touchdowns marked at NAU, 94.
Well, very versatile, obviously helps Nick Davila out, helps Kevin Guy with the scripts during the week in practice. He also plays receiver, emergency receiver if a couple guys go down.
And had Purify wide open there. Would love to have that one back. As that will bring a 3rd down now.
Well, it's, you know, we've been through the season enough now that we asked Kevin Guy when we were talking to him, how do you like coaching both offense and defense? Obviously, Connor Kawhi and Dave Ewart have input, but he's out there calling offensive plays and he's calling defensive formations. He said he loves it. He said he really, really enjoys it. He can put his imprint on both sides of the ball, and he really likes the way it's worked out this season.
Murrieta pressured, throws, completes, and Windsor just couldn't quite hang on. Took a step with it, but didn't get that foot fully down on the turf, but was only able to hang on. Good defense that time.
Well, and that's just one of those situations. J.C. Neal falls off his initial receiver and just makes a football play, able to break it up. And Windsor kind of lucky that he didn't get decapitated.
4th and long here from the 2, we'll call it, for Arizona. As we approach 5.5 to play here in the fourth. Murrieta pressured again, escapes, turns and throws, completes downfield to Tyson Pooch. Now there is a penalty flag back around the 9.
That's probably going to be the jack outside the box penalty.
But how about the strength of Jason Murrieta on full display right there?
Legal defense, number 5. Back linebacker out of the box. That penalty's declined. First down.
Well, it's like the offensive line, all of a sudden Jason's in the game and pass protection's breaking down. It's the same offensive line that was there for Nick for 3 quarters, and now all of a sudden the Kiss getting pressure right up the middle. Looked like there was a mental error inside, but Jason Murray had a tremendous job compete and find a way to complete the 4th down pass.
Just stiff arm B.J. Bell. Joe Gibbs able to get a touch of the football and cut down after the catch.
6'4", 300 pounds. All these linemen for the Rattlers, great athletes.
Now Huey's put pressure on his offensive line mates. And now we've got 2 penalty flags dropped over there.
It's been a flag parade here in the second half. And what he's saying there is every time you break the huddle, one of the offensive guards raises his hand to say, I am the quasi tight end. And if you're not the one that does that, then you are an ineligible receiver.
Murrieta with time. Finds a wide open target. In for the touchdown, Maurice Purified. So wide open, maybe he thinks he's going to get 2 catches for that.
Oh, I always look at that, and that's like having a wide open layup in basketball. Sometimes you'd rather have a little contact. A little double clutch, nice throw, good route, better protection. Almost drops it. Not a whole lot of celebration from Maurice.
(75-41), and the 7th time this season, Dale, that the Rattlers have scored 70 points or more as we take another look at the night for Maurice Purified.
Got to be awake when you're the first, second row of the stands. You never know when Maurice is going to join you. Great route running, great timing. Able to concentrate enough, and as I've said a number of times, what I love about all these Rattler receivers is you see them catch the ball with their hands. They'll go up to the highest point and catch the football. You don't see footballs bouncing off their shoulder pads. Tremendously well coached, great execution.
Dale, coming into tonight's game, the Rattlers had outscored their opponents in 7 of the last 13 games, 68-31. And they'll just add to that number, and that's the number that will set a new AFL mark at 14-0 to begin the season.
Well, the thing is, you take a look at this Rattler football team, and
on the kick, and an easy return there as Brandon Tompkins found a big crease and takes it all the way for the LA score.
you see this this Rattler team. What I was about to say is the only team that's going to beat the Rattlers is Arizona Rattlers, and that's if they're not dialed in and focused. And again, these are the kind of things that coaches just get driven crazy by. You need to get down there and cover the kick and focus in on it. And, you know, it's a great teaching moment too, and I'm not so sure Coach Guy and his staff don't mind that happening, because a little under 3 minutes left. Hey, you still got to focus. There's still game time left on the clock.
Well, and as we pointed out earlier, this is a team you could face in the first round of the playoffs. As Guyton has come in again, hands it off.
Estrada carries for the 2-point conversion. Flag on the play.
There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal formation offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty. We will replay the try.
The 2-point conversion nullified there. They'll back him up, and so Guyton comes out. Garcia comes back in. Estrada had 2 rushing touchdowns in a win last week against Portland. This time the Rattlers are able to get it covered up, and then the ball squirts free. Morgan is holding it as he was about 3 yards deep in the end zone.
On a try down, only the fumbling player may recover in advance. The ball was recovered by a different offensive player. Therefore, the try is no good.
Gotta love the way you're continuing to battle and battle. Radway trying to get in the end zone. Ball comes loose, and as you heard the referee say, the only person who can come in who can cover a fumble that's been advanced is the guy who fumbled it on an extra point try.
So that leaves 2:23 on the game clock.
How about this Arizona offense? So 11 possessions, 11 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. And I believe Coach Guy said they played all okay in the first half.
Just okay.
Yeah.
Again, LA lining up the onside. That high pop up as Kerry Reed drifting back and alertly taps it out of bounds.
Nice job by the entire hands team for the Rattlers. Your front line blocks, and Kerry Reed understands the rules, knocked the ball off the field of play.
Take a look at our Ultra Star Multi-Tainment Center play of the game.
Could have picked a couple different Rod Windsor ones, but this one running through the heart of the defense. Good blocking downfield. Just amazing the tenacity with which these receivers want to get the ball in the end zone.
5 scores on the night for Windsor. When you think back, Rookie of the Year, 2011. Marietta throws, touchdown, Tyson Boots. they continue to add to their season high scoring.
Getting Jason Murrieta some snaps, and Boots and Michael Huey and choreographed a little end zone celebration.
Getting a little more elaborate.
Well, they have a lot of time on their hands. What's that, bull roping?
Bulldog.
Star Wars night. Stars of the game.
You ever been to a rodeo?
Yes. Never saw all of Star Wars, but I've been to a rodeo.
I tell you what, those rodeo guys, those are some tough sons of a gun.
Let's not forget the clown.
Clown saves many lives.
That one's certainly been a nice welcome home for this club.
Well, I know when the schedule first came out, you looked at the first half of the schedule and it was so home heavy, but you know, okay, get off to a good start, but can you maintain it through that second half when you're going to be on the road a lot? And that was one of the things Coach Guy said. This is really the first week that they've had on a regular time schedule to where they can get some full-time practice. They can work on techniques. And again, you have to manage it when you've played as many games as this team has played over the last 4 seasons and with the numbers that you have on the team.
Cruz able to bring it out across the 5, close to the 7, maybe the 8. And that takes us to the 1-minute mark here. So Arizona will improve to 14-0. LA will hold to 3-10 as Tompkins is dealing with a bad ankle, it appears. He's up on all fours at least now.
But that's the thing that can get away from you late in the season if you're not able to work on your techniques. The coaches have to make sure that they are paying attention too and not letting little things slide.
Second with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Here with Tyson Pooch, 3 touchdowns on night. What's it like for you to be healthy, back on the field again and being productive?
Oh, it feels good. It's a tough road in the end of the season to get your body feeling really good and good enough to get out here. You know, when you're out here, all of it goes away. But at the beginning of the game, you're like, well, am I going to feel good the whole game and have a good game, or I'm just going to be out there? So today I felt good, but you know, it's all about the process of the week, trying to take care of your body and come out here feeling as close to 100% as you can.
We want to take a look at the touchdown, the third one of the night, and in particular, I need you to break down the celebration there for us with Michael Huey.
Well, there was supposed to be another lineman involved, but I think he got a little shy, got a little stage fright. He was supposed to be my horse. Huey was the calf, and I roped him and I wrapped him up and gave you the signal like it's good. So I think I'll give it a 10. We did a little rodeo. That's why I got the stash. I got in character today.
We appreciate that. And we're going to give you a 10 for creativity on that as well.
Thank you. I've been thinking of it for years, so we finally decided to do it today. It felt like today was the day.
And we appreciate it, Tyson. All right, let's get back upstairs, guys.
Gotta have fun, Kevin.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, you talk about planning. I mean, a year in the making, and to involve the stash as well.
Well, and you wonder as you sit there, who was the lineman who chickened out at the last
yeah,
second?
and you know, I give him credit. He didn't call him out. He just said one of my guys got stage fright. Either stage fright or concern over the reaction of Coach Kevin Guy, perhaps.
Well, it was probably the right time. 83-47.
At 83 points, by the way, ties the franchise scoring mark here at home.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people wondering why with the score 83-47 and 16 seconds left of the Kiss continuing to throw the ball down the field, and you're trying to get some snaps for Kenny Guyton, young quarterback, get in some game action.
Leaps it across the middle to Donovan Morgan. And that should do it. Final play of the night. The Kiss got off to a strong start, but they were just unable to keep pace with this juggernaut that is the Arizona Rattlers, who improved to 14-0 after an 83-47 victory here against LA.
The Auction Indian community and Troon Golf invite you to tee up a pure golf experience at Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club. Ranked as one of the top 10 best courses you can play in Arizona by Golf Week, Auction Southern Dunes is known for its relaxed atmosphere, premier course conditions, and spectacular service. Just 30 minutes south of Sky Harbor Airport, Auction Southern Dunes features stunning golf and a casual yet elegant restaurant. Visit us at golfsoutherndunes.com for the best available rates. Auction Southern Dunes Golf Club, a pure golf experience.
Are you a weekend warrior? Do you know where to turn to if you get hurt? We do. At Foothill Sports Medicine Physical Therapy Centers, we provide an individualized hands-on treatment plan based on your specific injury. We aim to restore function and to prevent re-injury. Call or stop by any of our 12 convenient valley-wide locations to receive a free assessment.
The Arizona Rattlers are back on Cox 7, ready to defend their title. Don't miss exciting Rattlers action this season as Coach Kevin Guy and the Rattlers take on the AFL in their quest for a third straight title. Stay with the Cox 7 sports team all season long as they bring you fast-paced, action-packed, crowd-pleasing Arizona Rattlers arena football. Championship football is back on Cox 7, Monday at 7 p.m. Watch the encore as the Rattlers take on the Los Angeles Kiss.
Well, another big night for the Arizona Rattlers as they roll over the visiting Los Angeles Kiss 83-47. And not much you can argue with right there, Dale.
0 turnovers, protected Nick, harassed Aaron Garcia, did really the things that they wanted to do coming into this game and answered the bell. Again, I think the biggest key from them going forward is their mental aspect. Are they going to come in mentally prepared to play every game? Because if they do, they have a chance to win them all.
LA came in, got off to a good start. In fact, led 7-0 after taking it down the field, engineered by Aaron Garcia, tied at 14-all. And then, as we noted, from 59 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, it was Arizona went on that 48-13 run.
Turnovers, defense, and the offense take advantage of it. I mean, this offense is unbelievable. You talk about not getting stopped, not turning the ball over. Really difficult to beat them when they're operating at that high of a level.
Let's send it down to the field and check in with Chris Harris.
Thank you so much, guys. Here with Rod Windsor and Antaj Hawthorne. Let's start off with the defensive side of the ball. Mr. Hawthorne, 14-0 record. That sets an AFL record for most consecutive wins in a single season. How does that sound? What's been the key?
Just playing hard. We got a great team. We gel real good in the locker room. The players, coaches, everybody's enjoying the season, and just keep working hard for every win.
And you guys have clinched home field advantage through the conference championship game. How crucial is that as you look down the road?
Well, Coach Guy always says that the championship runs through the desert, and I agree with him. So, it's hard. It's going to be real hard for a team to come inside here into the snake pit and beat us. It hasn't happened in a long time.
Defensively, you guys have been playing at such a high level. What's been going on these last few weeks? You've been so successful.
Well, it just took that. That was like the last thing to come together on the team was the defense. We had all the pieces. We just had to put them together. And, everybody's been working hard. Like I said, coach has been on us. He never, ever, it seems like he never gives up. It's always something, always wants us to improve in some phase of the game. So, as long as he's riding us, we're going to keep improving.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, swing it over here to Rod Windsor. 5 touchdown catches on the night, a season high. What was the key here?
We just went out and executed the game plan, and it would just so happen I was the one that was open tonight.
The offense was 12 for 12 on the possessions, scoring touchdowns. What was clicking?
We went in with the game plan that we went all week in practice and executed, and we executed with perfection. And we was able to score every drive.
Asked Antaj, 14 consecutive wins. How's that sound to you?
It sounds good. It shows you that hard work pays off. We go in and work every day, and it just shows. You put the work in, you see the results.
San Jose next week up there. What's going to be the key to try to take down the SaberCats once again?
Same thing we just did today. Come out and execute the game plan and play hard football.
And I got to ask you, how did you grade Tyson Poots' celebration dance there with Michael Huey?
It was cool because, they practice all week. They practice.
They practice that.
Yeah, they practice the celebration dance, so it's cool to get out there and for them to get out there and do it and watch them do it.
Appreciate the time, Rod. Congratulations.
No thanks.
All right, let's get it back upstairs, guys. The Rattlers get it done once again.
Well, and Chris, just goes to show, like the game plan, you got to practice celebrations if you want it to come off the right way.
Well, I was hoping that they hadn't practiced it, because if they practiced that, then they need to practice it again. It was just an impromptu thing, I'd understand, but I finally saw Rod Windsor smile a little bit and enjoy the performance tonight.
Yeah, and big-time enjoyment for Rod Windsor and these Rattler fans as they watch their team roll to 14-0 as they absolutely punish the visiting LA Kiss. No TV next week for the Arizona Rattlers as they hit the road, taking on San Jose. The last regular season home game of the season is Sunday, July 20th, when the Rattlers take on the Portland Thunder in what could be a first-round playoff preview. If you can't make it to the Snake Pit in person, be sure to tune into all the action on Cox 7 and Cox7.com, starting with the Rattlers pregame show at 2:30. Special thanks, as always, to our brilliant Cox 7 crew for their efforts here tonight. And special kudos going out to our great camera crew tonight: Scott Cruz, Tom Kioski, Eric Siegman, Garrett Savage, and Weston Watson. Our statistician, as always, Jared Donans, stage manager Beth Pockman, for our producer Rich Reed, director Pete Gordon, Chris Harris, Lindsey Smith, and Dale Hellestray. I'm Kevin Ray saying good night from the Snake Pit. The Rattlers roll 83-47 over the Kiss.